that it's going to make you a stronger person. That I believe it has. And I think it was a part of my growing up that I was supposed to go through that stuff.
That stuff included a full year of rehabilitation, a year on the bench as a backup for free agent bust Lance Parrish. He won the starting job in 1989 and disappointed, hitting just .201, but was given another shot in 1990, and Dutch finally arrived. He had a brilliant second-half performance, hitting in the 2 spot behind Lenny Dykstra. He would lead all National League catchers in 7 major categories. Dutch was primed in '91, but an early season car crash meant 6 more weeks on the disabled list, nearly a throwaway season. And what would 1992 bring? Simply the best. The most RBIs by a Phillies left-handed hitter in 60 years. Just the 4th Major League catcher to win an RBI title, a deserved place on the All-Star team. And in Philadelphia, the unquestioned title of leader.
You know, that's something that I think comes just by playing, having the respect of your players and your peers, the coaches, and the other players in the league. And, you know, it's not something that I want to take on. I think it just happens. It kind of evolved by the way you handle yourself. And, of course, being on top of your game and putting up numbers certainly will gain the respect from other players. And I think that's part of it.
Well hit! It might be a slam! It is!
Dalton's as-yet unwritten novel reads like a baseball classic, overcoming mountainous adversity to reach the top. He's now secured that his Phillies future will allow him to write his own storybook ending.
Unbelievable.
Unbelievable indeed. Darren has had a terrific homestand, including the game-winning slam last night, the 4th of his career, hitting .420 during the homestand, still leads the National Leagues in walks with 29. Phillies open play an astonishing 7 games on top in the East. We will go around baseball, see how the rest of the baseball world is faring. That and more coming up on Phillies pregame. But first, a look at the players of the week.
A new look Ranger is now at your Quality Plus Ford dealer.
No other truck is built for tough.
Ford Ranger, the #1 compact pickup for 6 straight years, has a slick new look inside and out. No wonder Ranger is '93 compact pickup of the year.
It'll set you free.
The hottest new look Ranger Splash just got in town. Hurry, lease a well-equipped '93 Ford Ranger for just $199 per month for 24 months. Now at your Quality Plus Ford dealer.
You better hit the ground running in a new Ford truck. Hey, hey.
Experience the pride.
Hey, that's super premium. Do you really think you need that high an octane for your car?
I don't know, but I do know this. I feel my car runs better on premium, and I have other things to worry about.
You don't take any chances, do you?
I figure if I put the best in, I'll get the best out.
So when good just isn't good enough for you, experience our best. Fly with the new superpower, Citgo.
If you were a performance machine, you'd be built low to the ground. With a welded full-length twin-channel steel frame, a hydrostatic transmission, and a cast-iron front axle, your power takeoff would be electronically controlled, and you'd have the option of side discharge, rear bagging, or mulching deck. Your name would be Cub Cadet. You'd only be available at a Cub Cadet dealer, and you would be working overtime.
Big Ben Rivera is back from Florida, that tune-up, and set for the Pittsburgh Pirates next. Stay tuned, it's on the way. He is back from an extended spring training tour of Florida, is Ben Rivera. The major league team from Florida, the Marlins, were in New York last night. The Mets needed a win to split a 4-game series despite their woeful month. Brett Saberhagen has been brilliant. At least he was on this occasion. Saberhagen looking for career shutout number 16. The Mets' only run they would need comes on the sacrifice fly. Vince Coleman scores on the fly ball by Eddie Murray, and then it was all Brett Saberhagen. He had 8 strikeouts on the night, including this one of Junior Felix. He would close out his first shutout in over a year. Good news for Mets fans. Meantime, at Chicago, it was Greg Hibbert who was the story. Here he strikes out Eric Karros, had a 3-hitter over 8 innings of work. In the 5th, Dwight Smith for the Cubs hits a 2-run home run, his 3rd off Astacio to the last row of the stands in the friendly confines. And then the defense would help him out. Steve Buechele, the diving stab. to save a run and end the inning. Cubs would go on to win it at Atlanta. Houston has had a lot of trouble. Ken Caminiti, though, would double off Mike Stanton in a 4-run 8th inning, trying to break that losing streak. Doug Jones has Dave Justice in front of him. That's all he'll need to record save number 7. Braves' 4-game winning streak ends right here as Justice is punched out on high heat. At Cincinnati, Tom Browning trying to tie Johnny Vandermeer for 10th place on the Reds' all-time win list. Kevin Mitchell, RBI single to center field, would put them on the lead for good, and Browning would go on to tie Vandermeer on the all-time list. At Colorado, it's Dante Bichette who has a 3-run home run. Looks like a little fly ball, but at Colorado, it's a 3-run home run. And the Rockies trying to end their 5-game losing streak. Dusty Baker, I guess, had seen enough. Bill Hahn says, you're out of here on this night, and your club is done as well. So on the scoreboard, New York's the winner, as is Chicago, Houston, Cincinnati, and Colorado 7-4 on top of San Francisco. To the American League, where 2-run home runs were wild at Seattle. Chicago's been red hot. First, Robin Ventura, a 2-run home run to give them a lead. Chicago's won 11 of their last 13. Then the big fella, Frank Thomas. It's belt high, and he handles it all the way. A long shot for a 2-run home run. The lead is extended. Chicago looking to build a 5-game winning streak. Dan Pasqua, right out over the plate, gets the arms extended and drills it to the backdrop. A winner for the White Sox. At Oakland, the A's can fall 8 games under 500 for the first time since '86. Tony La Russa's worried he should be. How about that off the fist by Juan Gonzalez off Ron Darling? It's a 2-run home run. That's the offense they would need, because Tom Henke gets Ricky Henderson on a weak swing. Save number 6. Oakland a loser again. Into extra innings once more are the Tigers, 3 straight. David Wells, 8 strikeouts. Here he gets Randy Velarde. He had 8 strong innings. And in the extra inning, Gary Thurman, an RBI single with the bases loaded and 2 outs. Tony Phillips scores. Detroit a game and a half up on New York in the American League East. The O's of Baltimore have won 5 of 6. Here, Mark McLemore with the defense on the fly. The strike out of the plate. Great throw to nail Scott Cooper. Then Brad Pennington gets Mo Vaughn to ground out to second base, his first major league save. Another win for the red-hot O's. At California, Dave Winfield was the storyline here. A ground ball base hit is a 2-run single and caps a 6-run 4th for California. Then, a couple of at-bats later, a bunt base hit by Winfield, so the next time up, he's decked by Chuck Grimm, and the future Hall of Famer says, yep, I deserve it. I bunted up by 5 runs. I'll take my medicine. Here's the scoreboard in the American League. Win for Detroit. They're red hot. Texas on top of Oakland as well. And stay with us in a moment. The career and the memorial to the greatest pirate of them all. The legacy of Roberto Clemente is coming up next on Phillies pregame. But first, we're going to give you a sneak peek at tonight's Major League schedule.
Big Ford pickup. It's the #1 truck in the world. Now F-Series pickups come with the best roadside service program available. Preferred Care, with 24-hour, 7-day-a-week assistance, all at no extra charge. Plus, you can qualify for an extra $500 cash back if you work for a business or own a business. Your savings total $1,800. See your Quality Plus Ford dealer today.
You better hit the ground running in a new Ford truck.
Trouble with heartburn? Well, you could change your job, change your lifestyle, change your diet.
Bon appetit.
Or better still, reach for Rolaids. It absorbs acid fast to bring 100% relief to millions. So maybe you can't change your life, but you can get relief in original and calcium rich. Rolaids spells relief.
A lot of airlines fly to Europe. But only TWA gives you room to stretch out and relax to Europe's most exciting cities. TWA replaced coach with comfort class. to give you the most legroom of any airline to Europe at no extra cost. We're even adding footrests, so you'll not only enjoy Europe, you'll enjoy the flight.
Eliminate shake, rattle, and roll in the back of your vehicle with Load Hugger. Fits all makes and models of cars, trucks, vans, and sport utility vehicles. Load Hugger cargo nets.
The first pitch tonight just moments away. Ben Rivera completing his warm-up tosses. The Phils and Pirates are coming up next. It was an unthinkable tragedy. The Pirates' Roberto Clemente, just after closing the season with his 3,000th hit, dies on a mission of mercy in Central America. All these years later, Roberto remains a hero. The next generation has made sure his memory will live on forever.
And just a few moments ago, a sentimental moment here at Three River Stadium in Pittsburgh. That's Vera Clemente, whose husband Roberto, a Hall of Famer, died in a tragic plane crash about 21 years ago. Maybe the most famous Pittsburgh Pirate of them all.
To remember Roberto Clemente is to remember one of the game's greatest players. Hit over 308 straight times, and in his 18th and final season, reached one of the game's most coveted milestones.
Everybody's set, and they want Bobby to get that big number 3,000. Bobby hits a drive into the gap in the left center field. There she is. Papers flying, everybody standing. A double for Roberto.
But Clemente was never just an athlete. While he was playing, he spent his off-seasons working with kids in his native Puerto Rico. He even set in motion plans to build a sports complex where children could receive professional coaching in many sports. Though Clemente did not live to see it happen, his dream has become reality. In the town of Carolina, Roberto Clemente's sports city sits on 300 acres of land donated by the Commonwealth of Puerto Rico. The complex is now in full bloom, the very place Roberto envisioned more than 20 years ago when he embarked on what he called the greatest ambition of my life.
We want to help all the kids, mostly underprivileged kids that can't afford going to an academy, and we can give them the opportunity to learn and to interact with other kids.
He loved kids so much, you know, he would always be thinking of a way to helping people, you know, the kids.
Just growing up with no equipment, it was very tough, so he wanted to help kids to make it easier for them to play the game.
We really know what my father wanted, and we're willing, you know, we want to accomplish the whole thing.
Aside from the facilities, what makes the baseball program here special is the major leaguers who come back to help out.
Ruben Sierra, Roberto Alomar, Dickie Thon, you know, all these players, they always, when they come back, they always come through here, through the sports city. And they spend some time with the kids, you know, just teaching them, giving clinics.
The minute they come in, they go with the kids. They'll explain some things to the kids. They'll say, I watch you taking some ground balls. You should definitely do this other thing. So they're always there to give a word of advice. And this is beautiful because the kids are able to relate back to them.
I drop by maybe 2 to 3 times a week. I want to help the kids to stay away from the bad way. I'm going to try to not only help them as in the game, I'm going to try to help them out of the game too.
When I was 14 years old, I used to play here in American Legion, and I've been coming, you know, since that age. And this is something special, you know, because the kids can come here, they can play basketball, they can, you know, swing, and they can do a lot of stuff, and that's something that Roberto got in his mind, you know, before he died.
They knew what Roberto Clemente represented, and they come in here, and they definitely, you know, try to emulate everything that he was.
He was a good spokesperson for all the kids. And that's why we are here now, you know. We're here to help the kids, to teach them how to play the game. The talent here in Puerto Rico it's really, it's outrageous. So we need to have a place where they can really go at it and learn the game and get better. And hopefully we can better their future.
This is now the living legacy of a ball player who believed that one man can make the difference. And what a tale these numbers do indeed tell. The career batting average 317, over 1,300 RBIs, right on the nose 3,000 hits, 12-time All-Star, 12-time Gold Glover. Third on the Bucs all-time list behind Stargell and Kiner in home runs in the top 10 in just about every offensive category. And that doesn't even mention one of the best arms in the history of Major League Baseball. Now, the next generation of Pirates are searching for a way to cut into what is already an 8-game deficit behind the Philadelphia Phillies. The Phils and Pirates are just moments away. Stay tuned.
Why is Isuzu America's #1 selling low-cab forward truck? With over 150 vocational applications.
O'Connor Truck Sales, the #1 Isuzu dealer in the tri-state area.
Oh, there's the Cub Cadet dealer.
Yeah, but we're going to go save big. A lot of people think they found a better way to buy lawn and garden tractors.
That kid didn't know anything.
I know another place to save big. But is cheaper really better? Okay, so they only had one tractor.
The steering wheel was missing.
Face it, lawn and garden tractors are investments when you're ready to take them seriously. Look, a Cub Cadet dealer. We'll be waiting. Cub Cadet, working overtime.
Batter up! At all 6 Marty Sussman dealerships in Pennsylvania and New Jersey, Marty Sussman says, bring us any dealer advertised special and we'll beat it, or give you 2 tickets to the Red Hot Phillies. Buy or lease any new or used car till the end of the month and get 2 Phillies tickets. Your Marty Sussman second opinion dealer will beat your best advertised deal and send you to the Phillies. The Sussman Organization. Honda, Oldsmobile, Mazda, Lincoln, Mercury, Acura, BMW.
Phillies pregame has been brought to you by your Quality Plus Ford dealer. Get great deals on 5 of the 10 best-selling cars and trucks in America during the Great American Ford Sales Event at your Quality Plus Ford dealer. And by O'Connor Trucks, the #1 Isuzu dealer in the tri-state area. And coming up next, Ben Rivera looks for his second win of the season. His first start since the 1st of May. The Phils look for 5 in a row against Dave Otto and the Pittsburgh Pirates. The Phils and Pirates exclusively on Prism, coming up in just a moment.
This is the future. We are waiting. You must choose your fate. Will you choose to join Andrew McCarthy and Jennifer Beals in the battle against the strange virus of Dr. M? Will you take sides for or against gang leader Malcolm McDowell in A Clockwork Orange? Or will you journey to 2008 to aid Rutger Hauer's search for a London killer in split seconds? The future waits for no one. Choose before the end of Prism's next lunar phase, or it may be too late.
Jean-Claude Van Damme always makes an impact. Now, get ready for Van Damme ×2, double impact. Now, it'll take both of them, express service,
That's what I love about you.
to handle one of her.
Please fasten your seatbelt.
Double impact.
We need to talk. You see, you and I have something in common.
When Batman returns.
Batman. To destroy Batman, we must first turn him into what he hates the most. Namely, us.
Batman returns. You probably know Danny Glover best as Mel Gibson's partner in Lethal Weapon 1, 2, and 3. But did you know he co-starred with the Crying Game's Forrest Whitaker in the acclaimed comedy A Rage in Harlem? Did you know he starred in and helped produce the drama To Sleep with Anger? Did you see him with Kevin Kline and Oscar nominee Mary McDonnell in Grand Canyon? And did you realize that these 4 movies, Lethal Weapon 3, A Rage in Harlem, To Sleep with Anger, and Grand Canyon, are on Prism this month? Danny Glover's best work shines during May Days on Prism. Check it out.
Since opening day, they've been residents of baseball's twilight zone, inhabitants of a place where the spectacular becomes routine.
and victory is the expected result. Each new day brings with it another special moment. In the 110-year franchise history, no Phillies team has blazed this trail before. Tonight, another installment of this magical spring journey as the Phillies meet the Pirates next. The Phils again look for win number 5 in a row and hope to vanquish the Bucks next. Hi again, everybody. I'm Larry Rosen. Welcome to Phillies Baseball Tonight exclusively on Prism. Last night, the formula was perfect. A good, strong starting performance and one offensive hero. The slam this time came from Darren Dalton. Tonight, the 5th starter, Ben Rivera, in a key start just back from an extended spring workout. Ben has had some success when he's pitched on time and has trouble when he's too strong with 12 days rest against Dave Otto, a pickup from the American League in the Rule 5 draft. And for their thoughts on tonight's game, stay tuned. We'll come back with Chris Wheeler and Jay Johnstone in just a moment.
Presenting the magnificent 1993 Cadillac Fleetwood with its distinctive all-new aerodynamic styling. The 93 Fleetwood is longer and is the most spacious American sedan on the road with very important features like dual front airbags, anti-lock brakes, and traction control, all standard, and it's incredibly quiet within. Buy now, and you'll get a $2,000 bonus direct from Cadillac. Don't miss this limited time offer. See your Cadillac Super Network dealer now.
I'd like to show you an all-natural lawn care product, Thatchmaster. With spring application, Thatchmaster reduces excess thatch without power dethatching machines or old-fashioned raking. It uses a natural protein enzyme to gradually break down excess thatch so water and nutrients are more easily absorbed into the soil. Get your lawn ready for summer now with Thatchmaster. It makes a tough job easier, naturally.
Available at Sears, Kmart, Frank's, and participating True Value. Thatchmaster.
Well, welcome back to Veterans Stadium. The Phillies and the Pirates in game number 2 of this 3-game series. Jay, in the course of that exciting win last night, the Phillies did suffer an injury to a guy who's been very important to them lately. Who's out of the lineup tonight?
Mariano Duncan sustained a left hamstring pull in his last at-bat when he dove for the bag, and it's a little bit of a problem for the Phillies, but this gives the manager, Jim Fregosi, a chance to go to his bench, Chris, and use one of his young shortstops. Tonight, Juan Bell will get the nod, and Bell hasn't played much lately, but the fact that Jim Fregosi is able to go to his bench and give this guy some playing time and some bats that he needs might help this kid get out of the slump. Even though Duncan might be out for a few days, I know he wants to play, but now he's got a chance to utilize some of his players with a 16-game lead over 500. You can do that.
Mariano Duncan thinks he'll be back real soon, and we'll be back with the starting lineups coming up right after this.
Phillies Baseball on Prism is brought to you by Budweiser, fresh, pure, natural, proud to be your bud. By your local Sherwin-Williams paint stores. The pros know, ask Sherwin-Williams, a participating sponsor of Major League Baseball. By Mellon PSFX, the official bank of the Phillies. By Bella, Pennsylvania Yellow Pages, no other book can match it, a Bella Company. By Texaco System 3 gasoline. In every grade, System 3 helps make a difference in your car's performance. By Coca-Cola, it's always Coca-Cola. By Cento Fine Italian Food. Trust your family with our family. By Pizza Hut. Call Pizza Hut Delivery now and have your pizza by the 4th inning. By Jiffy Lube, America's favorite oil change. And by Independence Blue Cross and Pennsylvania Blue Shield. Carry us for life.
You can feel it deep inside. Dedication and a real sense of pride. And you're giving it your best. Proud to be your bud. Budweiser. Proud to be your bud. Proud to be your bud. Ooh, yeah. Proud to be your bud.
Upon completing the rear axle assembly diagrams using a 9-inch gripping wrench, tighten the C diagrams and secure the frame extenders to the housing mount. Congratulations, you built a tricycle. While the simplest things can be made complex, the challenge is making the complex simple. But that's what we do at Bell Atlantic Mobile, with straight answers, clear explanations, and with no assembly required. Bell Atlantic Mobile, advanced technology and people who make it mean something.
May I help you, sir?
Yeah, I'll have a Coca-Cola.
You sure you want a Coke?
Yeah, I want a Coke.
Okay, pal.
How did you order a Coke? It tastes good.
Didn't care if it was a Coke. You just want a
I'll just have a cola. I'll just have a cola. I'll just have a cola.
Need a drink, sir?
I'll just have a...
You'll just have a...
I'll just have a Coke.
Ooh.
Hear that, guys? A Coca-Cola. See ya, pal. Oh.
Terrific job of our national anthem by the Hatton Township High School Chorus, directed by Mary Ann McKenzie. Nice job by those young people down there. Let's head right to the Sherwin-Williams starting lineup, and starting with the Pittsburgh Pirates, managed by Jim Leland. Tom Foley will lead off tonight and play second base. Jay Bell is the shortstop. He'll bat second. Andy Van Slyke in center field in the 3-hole. Jeff King at third base bats fourth. Orlando Merced in the lineup tonight at first base. Dave Clark will play right field and hit sixth. Tom Prince is the catcher. He'll bat seventh. Dave Wainer moves into left field. That was a late addition to the lineup. He is going to bat seventh, and the pitcher is a left-hander we've never seen before, Dave Otto.
And for the third best defense in the National League at first base, Johnny Kruk. Victor Morandini at second. Juan Bell steps in for Mariano Duncan, who's got a pulled hamstring. Dave Hollins at third. Incaviglia, Dykstra, and Chamberlain will take over in the outfield behind the dish. The man of the hour last night, Darren Dalton, and of course on the mound, Big Ben, all 6'6" of them.
There are the numbers on Ben Rivera. He is 6'6", 230 pounds, now 24 years of age, out of San Pedro de Macorís, originally signed by the Atlanta Braves back in 1986. Lifetime against the Pittsburgh Pirates, Ben is 1-1 in 5 games. He had 3 starts against the Pirates last year, and he was 1-0 against the Bucks with an earned run average of 3.14, giving up 5 earned runs in 14 and a third innings. Talk about hot. This has been one hot baseball team, Jay. Unbelievable run this team has been on.
Look at that. They've only lost 1 series on the whole year. That's amazing.
Yeah, that 1 series they lost, of course, at Wrigley Field in Chicago, 4 series, and they were almost swept in that series when Maldonado hit a 3-run home run in the 9th inning, and the Phillies wound up winning it in extra innings on Dave Hollins' home run. Here are the umpires for tonight's game. The veteran Terry Tate, the crew chief behind the plate. Wally Bell at first. Eric Gregg at second base, and over at third base, Greg Bonin. And leading it off will be Tom Foley, the former Philly. Foley playing last year with the Montreal Expos. This is his 8th start of the year at second base, and he's also started 1 game at shortstop. He got a game-winning RBI for the Pirates on Sunday against Montreal, and Ben starts him with a fastball low, ball 1.
Foley with the Phillies in 1985 and 86, coming over from Cincinnati in 85.
Ben Rivera went down to Florida and had a start at extended spring training on the 6th of this month. He went 6 innings, gave up 5 hits, 2 runs, 1 of them earned, walked 3, and struck out 7. The reason being he just wasn't going to get any work up here with the off days and rainouts. And he misses low, ball 3. He's thrown 3 straight sinkers out of the strike zone. There's Dave Hollins playing up on the left-hander Foley, leading off the game, who takes a strike call.
Even though Foley, 10 years in the big leagues at 33 years old, he's still got some pretty good wheels, and if Hollins were to play deep enough, he'd lay down a bunt.
Line drive to left. Incaviglia out there tonight, and Inky right there and grabs it one away. Foley hit it hard, but right at Pete Incaviglia.
Hank King, the advanced scout for the Phillies, delivers an outstanding scouting report to John Vukovich. Vukovich had moved Incaviglia in a little bit. Foley not much power to left field, and only had to go about 3 or 4 steps for that ball right at him.
Here's Jay Bell, the shortstop. You see him batting at .311. Bell made an error last night, snapping a 28-game errorless streak with that throwing error. He made a crazy play at second base.
He came up to me and asked me, he said, did you rerun it a couple of times? I said, well, it wasn't pretty, Jay. It wasn't pretty.
And we had him as a softball pitcher last night, too.
He said, well, you know, I think I went brain dead on that one. He said, he was trying to argue that Dykstra was out of the base path. He never got a chance to do it. And he said, of course, his throw, that's a strike. His throw was way high and bounced and one hopped into the stands, but he kind of laughed about it. He says, yeah, well, when I do make an error, it's a pretty good one.
Well, I know that was our reaction. Well, what was that? Jay Bell has hit safely in 10 out of his last 12 games at a .354 clip. This guy is a good player. Very intense player. Swing and a miss. Fastball from Ben Rivera, and he strikes out Jay Bell. 2 down.
I'll show you the fastball again. It's straight heat, about 92 miles an hour. The Pirates signed Jay Bell to a 4-year contract, and the big reason is they wanted to prove to their fans that they weren't trying to give away all their top talent. So far, Bell has responded with a pretty good year.
Here's Van Slyke with a 7-game hitting streak. He's only 10 for 7 lifetime off Rivera.
What's that?
7 out of 10, I mean, for a 700 average, with a homer and 2 runs batted in. Jay Bell, by the way, was 1 for 9 off Ben. Look at those numbers off Rivera.
Don't forget, you're talking about the guy that finished second, runner-up to Gary Sheffield in the batting title last year. Had 199 hits, tied for the league lead as that pitch is called a strike. Pretty much a complete player, wouldn't you say?
Oh, this guy's a really good player. Great center fielder, good thrower, can run, steal a base. Curveball, and he rips it to the gap in right center, and that'll be extra bases. It's going all the way to the wall. Van Slyke might get 3. He's pumping around second. He'll head for third, and he's going to have a stand-up triple. Triple number 2 for Andy Van Slyke, who hit a hanging 0-2 breaking ball.
Last year, Van Slyke hit .324 with 45 doubles, which led the league in 12 triples. Watch this fastball. Actually, it's a breaking ball. He jumps all over it and hit it right in the gap. It hits the turf and goes right to the wall. Chamberlain has no chance, and Van Slyke, with a good set of wheels, able to get into third, standing up very easily.
So there's Van Slyke at third base with that second triple over the year, bringing up Jeff King. King batting at .256. 3 for 7 lifetime off Rivera. That's a .429 average. Fastball misses a little low, ball 1. Pirates at 15 and 15 right now. 8 and 8 at home, 7 and 7 on the road. And winners of 3 out of their last 5. Low again, 2-0. The on-deck batter is Orlando Merced. There's Van Slyke and Merced waiting to bat. Merced is the 4th leading hitter in the National League. Foul tip held onto by Dalton. 2-1.
You know, you look at this team, and they're still a very potent team, even though the organization has given manager Jim Leland 8 rookies this year to work with at one time. 5 pitchers, 3 players.
Fastball hit hard to short, where Bell is playing tonight. Got him at first, and Ben Rivera pitches out of a little first inning trouble. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, and the Pirates will leave a man. No score.
My mama told me you better shop around. Shop around. You better shop around. My mama told me you better shop around. Shop around. You better shop around.
I always go to the shopping center 9 out of 10 people use. The genuine Bell of Pennsylvania Yellow Pages. 9 out of 10 use it. No other book can match it. A Bell Atlantic Company.
Trouble with heartburn? Well, you could change your job, change your lifestyle, change your diet.
Bon appetit.
Or better still, reach for Rolaids. It absorbs acid fast to bring 100% relief to millions. So maybe you can't change your life, but you can get relief in original and calcium-rich. Rolaids spells relief.
Hey, Dad, how about some money for the movies?
Sure, kid. The frosty mug taste of A&W root beer. It really brings back memories.
A quarter?
Get some popcorn, too. A&W, our frosty mug taste brings you back.
Here come your Sherwin-Williams starting lineups for the Phillies, managed by Jim Fregosi, Lenny Dykstra in center field, Mickey Morandini, the second baseman, John Kruk at first base, Dave Hollins at third, Darren Dalton catches and bats fifth, Wes Chamberlain in right field hits sixth, Pete Incaviglia, the left fielder, will bat seventh, Juan Bell replacing Mariano Duncan out with a hamstring pull. He's the shortstop and will bat eighth. On the mound, Big Ben Rivera pitches and bats ninth.
And the team that has the second best defense in the National League, in fact, they've only made 2 errors in their last 100 or so innings, is Merced at first base, Tom Foley at second, Jay Bell, at short, Jeff King at third, Wayner, Van Slyke, and Clark in the outfield. Tom Prince takes over for Don Slout, who hurt himself last night. And on the mound, Dave Otto, all 6-7 of them.
210-pounder Dave Otto is 28 years of age, out of Elk Grove, Illinois, number 2 pick of Oakland back in June of 1987. In 37 major league starts, Otto is 8-19 with an earned run average of 5.10. Otto throws a lot of breaking balls, fastball, and a forkball, making his first career appearance against the Phillies. And he'll face Lenny Dykstra.
What Ray Miller has done for this young man, Chris, is trying to get him to change speeds a little bit, and he's given him a changeup, and this pitch is taken outside. All his pitches are pretty much the same. He's not going to overpower you with his fastball. He's got a split finger pitch also. So Ray Miller, the astute pitching coach, has come up with some kind of a circle change for Otto, and also tried to get him to change speeds on that curveball of his.
Misses low. There is Ray Miller, of whom Jay speaks. Selected by Pittsburgh from the Cleveland organization in the Rule 5 draft in December of last year was Dave Otto. They took a lot of guys to camp as Dykstra goes 3-0. They took 14 non-roster players to camp this year to the Pirates, and Otto's the only one of the group to appear in a game this season. Pitch to Lenny is over for a strike. Dykstra's among the league leaders in walks with 21 and runs scored 24. Lenny batting just .119 against left-handers this year. That's something he's looking to get going a little bit better. And Otto comes back with strike 2, and it's a full count. So far, all fastballs from this rangy left-hander, 6'7", graduate of the University of Missouri. Fouled off. He was a accounting graduate and graduated magna cum laude. That means he's pretty smart, right?
Can you spell that?
I can hardly say it. There it is.
Ah!
He does everybody's taxes.
That means he does have brain power. He eats a lot of Wheaties.
Dykstra hits a fly ball to left. Lenny might have chased a high fastball there. Wayner in left field, and John Wayner puts it away for the first out.
I'm going to tell you right now, people are going to say, oh, Dykstra made it out. That's too bad. That was a great at-bat by Dykstra, and I'll tell you why. He got Otto to throw him 7 pitches in his first at-bat. Now Dykstra hasn't seen Otto that much, so he got the count to 3-2, fouled off a pitch, and swung at a fastball. Now in the next at-bats that Dykstra face him, he's pretty much seen all of his pitches and what he throws.
Mickey Morandini, the batter. Mickey has been hitting 8th against left-handed pitching, with Duncan batting 2nd. But with Mariano out with a slight hamstring pull tonight, Morandini will bat 2nd, and Juan Bell will bat 8th. That's a fair ball. Let's see what happens on the carom. Dave Clark does not get a good carom, and Mickey Morandini coasts into second with double number 6 on the year for Morandini.
That's one of those tough plays by a right fielder. You're not sure whether the ball is going to catch that lip of the lower stands there, so you have to go like the ball's going to go down the right field line. And when the ball does hit the lip, as we'll show you right here, it's almost an automatic double. The pitch by Wainer is a fastball trying to get it inside. He caught a good portion of the plate. You can see the ball going down the line, then it just does catches about 3 feet of the lip as Clark was breaking towards the corner. So Morandini with an easy double on that one.
And John Kruk, the batter, batting .275 against left-handed pitching. And Kruk with a runner in scoring position where he's batted at a .292 clip. There's the first breaking ball of the night by Otto. Otto last year was 5-9 with Cleveland, a .706 earned run average in 18 games, 6 of them as a starter. And he had a bad shoulder and went on an injury rehab. Pitches in the dirt, bounces away. Great break by Morandini. He'll get to third on a wild pitch by Otto.
Oh, that's good hustle right there, Chris, because now the Phillies can score a run by just making an out. Morandini with heads-up base running there had a good lead, and as soon as he saw the ball in the dirt and watched the ball as it bounces, Prince does a good job of keeping that ball in front of him, but Morandini got a great jump on that, a head-first slide, and now the Phillies have a chance to pick up a run by just making an out.
And they're bringing the infield in, are the Pirates, so the out will have to come in the outfield as they're not conceding a run here in the first inning. See the infield all the way in for Pittsburgh with a 1-ball, 1-strike count on John Kruk, and Hollins on deck. Pirates playing very defensive defense early. Breaking ball outside, 2-1.
I think manager Jim Leland realizes he's had a tough time scoring runs here against the Phillies, so he doesn't want to concede the run on a ground ball. He'll give up the fly ball run. But now if you're John Kruk, you got to be licking your chops saying, oh, I get to hit with the infield in on turf.
Up the middle and through for a base hit. And there it is, the drawn-in infield. Might have been a hit anyway, but he's thinking about trying to hit the ball up the middle, Jay, and he picks up his 18th RBI of the year. Phil's lead 1-0.
He did a great job, because if you hit the ball up the middle on turf with the infield in, somebody's going to have a jet on the back of him to catch it. You can see the second baseman Foley is about 15 feet away from that. Now maybe he's got a chance to stop that ball. The run will score, but Kruk does his job. He keeps the ball on the ground. He drives in the run. Philly's got a little rally going here.
Dave Hollins, the batter, batting .386 from the right side, .219 left-handed. Hollins with 2 homers right, 2 homers left. And a move over to first by Otto. Otto's last outing was against Montreal on Saturday, an inning in relief. He beat San Diego in his first start of the year and then has lost his last 2 decisions.
And Hollins, of course, has utilized those home runs, Chris. All 4 home runs he's got have been game-winning home runs. Phillies with 9 game-winning home runs out of their 28.
Now, they don't have a lot of turf fields in the American League, obviously, Jay, but last year on grass and dirt, hitters hit .316 off Otto. On turf, they hit .472.
That's pretty good.
Really high.
Well, you know, I can see where Otto would have a problem, and let me run this at you and see what you think. Otto's 6'7", and he's not overpowering with a fastball, so the best thing Otto can try and do is keep the ball down. But hey, when you're 6'7", it's tough to get the ball down in the strike zone. And coming over from the American League, which is a high ball league, it's even tougher. And if you can't get a ball down and you've got a mediocre fastball about 85 miles an hour in this league, you're in trouble.
Fouled out of play right side.
Because they're gonna hammer that fastball somewhere.
The count right now on Dave Hollins is 2-1. Hollins has hit in 10 out of his last 12 games at a .340 clip, a couple of homers, 10 runs batted in. Hollins has played every inning of every game this season. And that also is the same story for Lenny Dykstra.
You need some Ringling Brothers elephants to pull Hollins out of the lineup.
Hit the deep left field. Back goes Wainer. It will stay in the ballpark in front of the warning track, and Wainer grabs it 2 down. Looked like he got that off the end of the bat a little bit.
Again, the pitch is up. Otto having a little bit of a problem with his control getting the ball down, and Hollins was predominantly more of a power hitter right-handed. Watch the pitch that's up in the strike zone. See him going after it. Actually might even have been a little bit of a ball. He just couldn't quite get on top of that, even though he hit it to the deep part of left field. Had that pitch been down a little bit more, Chris, you might be looking at his 5th home run.
Darren Dalton, the batter, the hero of last night's game with that home run to right center field. Dutch batting .229 against left-handers. Leads the league in walks with 29. Up among the league leaders in homers, 7, and on-base percentage at .434. Pitch from Otto is a breaking ball over for a strike. There are the walk leaders in the league. Dalton now ahead of Barry Bonds by 1. Dave Magadan, who always
Drew a lot of walks with the Mets, doing the same thing now with the Florida Ball Club. 1 week from tonight, the Phillies will be at Joe Robbie Stadium playing those Florida Marlins for the second time. Phillies go to Atlanta this weekend, and, well, all they're going to face are Glavine, Maddox, and Smoltz this weekend. That's it.
A few Cy Young Award winners there, huh?
Yeah. Well, you know, when you go into Atlanta, you're going to get good ones, but Glavine 4-0, Maddox 2-3, Smoltz 3-3, Terry Mulholland, Kurt Schilling, Danny Jackson for the Phils. Could be a terrific series down in Atlanta this weekend. And all the games are sold out from what we understand also.
And surprising enough, the Phillies pitchers get to face a team that's tied with the Phillies in batting. Atlanta's hitting .247 in his team average along with the Phillies.
Atlanta found the Rockies just when they needed them.
Yes, they did.
They were a struggling, scuffling ball club and went into Colorado and swept them. John Kruk, the runner at first base, with an RBI single here in the first inning. There are 2 outs, and Dalton, the batter, 1 and 2 on Darren.
Playing in Mile High Stadium can make a believer out of you if you're a pitcher. You're going to see some gigantic ERAs.
Here's the next 3 telecasts we'll have for you tomorrow night on Sports Channel Philadelphia, the Pirates, then from Atlanta on Friday and Saturday on PHL 17. 2-2 to Dalton. High ball 3 with a breaking ball, so Kruk will be off on the pitch with 2 outs. See if Merced plays off him or not. They might want to get him off to take that hole away, and he's starting to drift off the bag. 3 balls, 2 strikes. The pitch, he struck him out on a 3-2 breaking ball. So Dalton goes down on strikes. Dave Otto with his first strikeout. Phils a run on 2 hits, no errors to leave 1. 1-0 Phils after 1.
Any professional painter will tell you that if you want results like these, you gotta know the tricks of the trade. You gotta ask Sherwin-Williams. Now, these are guys you can trust. They've got good paint, good price, good advice. Guaranteed. Want to know something? I didn't paint this house. The guy that lives there did. Hey, fella, nice job. This guy knows what the pros know. Ask Sherwin-Williams.
Suppose you wanted to make a chair as stable as can be. Where would you put the legs? Right at the corners, right? Now, suppose you wanted to make a car as stable as can be. Where would you put the wheels? Right. That's why the new Intrepid is so remarkably stable. The wheels are pushed out toward the corners. The further we pushed, the more stable and sure-footed it became. Intrepid. This changes everything.
Make a note to make history when the Colorado Rockies come to town for the first time. Friday, June 4th, Saturday, June 5th, and get a big beach towel free 1:35 Sunday afternoon, June 6th. Then it's the Astros, June 7th, 8th, and 9th. Order your tickets in advance. Call 463-1000.
Hey, folks, Gento Italian Food Products is rooting for the Phillies this season. In fact, for every Phillies home run, Gento donates $200 to the Philadelphia Child Guidance Clinic. Already, they've given up $3,800, the last $200 coming on Darren Dalton's Grand Slam home run last night. And you can find all kinds of nutritional information on all Gento labels. So go out to your store, look for that big Gento Italian section in the food section of your store, and buy a bunch.
How about happy 8th birthday tonight to Nick Palmer Jr. Nick is a security guard in the Phil's dugout. And happy birthday to Joe White from the boys from Camille's Distributors. Here's Orlando Merced, the 4th leading hitter in the National League. Merced a switch hitter. This is his 17th start of the year in right field. He's also started 5 games at first base. Merced much better from the left side. He did not play last night against Danny Jackson. Merced is batting .385 left-handed, .200 right-handed. See, Merced's been a pretty good hitter in May. Send get well wishes along to Sissy Levy, wife of Bob Levy. Sissy, one of Bill Giles' partners with the Phillies.
She's not feeling well tonight. Bob's here enjoying himself, and poor Sissy's at home.
Sissy's watching the ball game. Hope you feel better real soon. Swing and a miss at a breaking ball. It's 1 ball, 2 strikes. Here's Ben Rivera facing Orlando Merced, leading off the second inning. They're going to go with the fastball into Orlando. And he's a little high with it. It'll be Merced, Clark, and Prince. Two left-handed batters, and then Prince, a right-handed hitter. Merced at first base tonight. Curveball hit to Kruk. And Orlando Merced is retired, one away.
You see how Kruk took that ball and went after it himself? You'll find a lot of first basemen. I'm not going to call him lazy, but watch John Kruk. He's got to go to his right a little bit, and he puts a hand up. I got it. He's telling Rivera, don't worry about it. You'll see a lot of first basemen won't do that. They'll take time and take a chance and throw it to the pitcher. But Kruk goes for it all the time, or most of the time. Gets his own outs. I'd like to see that.
Here's Dave Clark, the veteran. Played in the American League with Cleveland. Saw him with the Cubs also. This is his 7th start of the year in right field. He's batting .333 as a starting player. And Rivera misses outside. 1 ball, no strikes to Clark, hitting it .219. Clark did a good job a couple years ago as a pinch hitter for the Cubs. Rivera, a sinker ball down low.
Yeah, hit 275 for him in 90, Chris. 84 games.
Fouled away. Birthday wishes tonight to Mark O'Donnell from Croydon, 26 years of age. His dad, Mark, been a security guy at the ballpark for a long time. Then you see the major league teams for Dave Clark. And Mark O'Donnell, his father has said to Mark O'Donnell Jr., it's about time he moved out. Said for us to deliver that message to him tonight. 26 and out.
You know, Clark's a pretty big guy, too, at 6'2", 210, 215. Also, how about this? He was 26-0 as a Golden Glove boxer during high school. I don't know if I'd want to get in a fight with this guy. Or, if he's my teammate, I want him next to me. Watch that swing. He's got pretty good extension. He's got a wide stance to begin with and takes a pretty big step. I think Milton May would like to see Clark shorten that step a little bit, concentrate on getting a little bit more power into that swing.
Back up through the middle, picked by Ben Rivera, who fires the first. He didn't hit it very hard, and Big Ben just went down and grabbed it 2 away.
I think Ben was kind of surprised at it. He got the pitch in on him, jammed Clark, and Ben thought it was coming back a lot harder. See how he didn't get the bat head out, and Ben went down to pick it up, a little miffed at himself that he thought it was coming back a little harder than it actually did.
And Tom Prince, the batter, the 8th start of the year for Prince, who's batting .273. Prince is a guy that they've looked at for a long time in the Pirates system. Thought he might be their catcher of the future, but it really hasn't worked out that way. LaValliere and Slott have been the catchers for Pittsburgh. LaValliere now gone, so Prince up on the ball club. On the count of 1-1 on him. On deck is John Wehner in left field. Hot night at the vet. Good night to get loose. Good night to pitch and hit.
Like you said, he's had his ups and downs last year. He led the catchers in the American Association in throwing runners out in double plays. He also threw out, how about this, 43% of the base runners who tried to steal on him last year. So he's a very good defensive catcher. He's got a good arm. And of course, wouldn't you know it, this year he's 0 for 12 in trying to throw out base runners. Just goes to show you, from one year to the next, you never know about this game.
That's foul into the stands down the left field line. Prince hit it hard, and the count full now at 3-2 on him.
What's that old phrase that they coined? That's the way the ball bounces or something. From one year to the next, you never know.
And he misses low, does Ben Rivera. Walk number 1 issued by Ben. So the first 2 innings in the game, he's retired the first 2 batters he's faced, has Rivera. And then the third batter's gotten on. Van Slyke tripled and was stranded in the first, and now a 2-out walk to Tom Prince. Here is John Wehner, the Pittsburgh native. First start as a left fielder. He's made 1 start in center and 1 at third. He's a fill-in tonight after Martin was scratched with they think, a sore back.
Yes, he hurt his back in last Saturday's game, and even though he came in to pinch hit a home run the other day, it still is bothering him. He took BP today, and they decided to at the last minute make a lineup switch. So his back is still bothered from a week ago Saturday.
Curveball misses outside, 1-1. The on-deck batter is the pitcher Dave Otto, who has one major league hit, that coming this year, his first year in the National League. There's Otto, 6'7". A couple of tall ones out there tonight. Rivera 6'6". Had a good front court working here tonight.
Well, Wainer at 6'3", I guess you could put him in the backcourt then, huh?
Yeah, be the shooting guard. 1 ball, 2 strikes now on John Wainer. By trade, a third baseman playing in left field tonight. Fouled away. Good crowd here. Looks like more than last night on a very warm summer type evening here at Veterans Stadium.
Nice.
There's a look at the crowd.
When you're winning, it's amazing what happens. People want to come out and see that product, and the Phillies this year have been giving the fans all they can ask for, and then some.
Phillies got a nice ovation, Jay, when they took the field tonight.
Yes, they did. That reminds me back in '76 and '77 when the team would take the field and come in, fans would go crazy.
And the count now at 2-2 on Wainer. Phillies are playing Wainer as a pull hitter, shading him towards left center. There's the base runner Tom Prince. Here you see the outfield defense and also the infield. Wainer a little blooper off the end of the bat, and that'll be a base hit. Prince will head for third. He'll get there, and the Pirates have runners at the corners now with 2 outs for the pitcher Otto.
Exactly what it was. Rivera tried to go away with the pitch. Wainer, watch where this location of the pitch is. He's trying to go with the breaking ball on the outside part of the plate. Doesn't get it there. Kind of a hanger. And Wainer out in front. The ball hits off the end of the bat, but just over Morandini's head. Pirates have a little 2-out rally here in the top of the second. Of course, tomorrow in the scorebook, it looks like a line shot somewhere.
See, Otto 1 for 7 with 3 strikeouts. Otto, it says in the press guide, was a very good hitter in college at Missouri, when he hasn't got much of a chance to hit being in the American League for so long.
It sure presents a big strike zone for Ben Rivera, wouldn't you say?
Swings and misses at that pitch. No balls, 1 strike to Otto. Broken bat, base hit, right field. Pirates tie it. On his way to third is Wainer as the ball bounces away from Chamberlain. He's going to try and score, and he will come all the way. Great coaching down there by Donnelly, who saw that ball get away from Chamberlain. So with Otto batting, the Pirates wind up with 2 runs. He gets 1 RBI out of it. It's 2-1 Pittsburgh.
Rivera tried to come in on Otto. As Chris said, he broke his bat. Watch this pitch. It's on the inside part of the plate, but Otto waits back, and the diving Kruk can't get the ball. But watch what happens with Chamberlain. He came over, and he let the ball get by him, and a run scores.
Good job by Britt Donnelly down there at third to see that happening and to keep the base runner, Wainer, coming all the way since he was running with 2 outs. So there is Otto with his 2nd National League run batted in.
Oh, boy, and a 2-out walk comes back to haunt Ben Rivera as the pitcher drives in the game's.
2 outs, nobody on base, and the 7-hole hitter coming up, and all of a sudden it's 2-1 Pittsburgh.
Yep. Golly.
That is Wes Chamberlain's first error. He had played 52 consecutive games in the field without an error since being moved to right field permanently on July 11th, 1992. No, Chamberlain makes an error. And Foley either pitched to what? Foley is over for a strike, and it's 1-1 on Tom Foley, the former Philly. Foley at one time traded by the Phillies to Cincinnati. They got Bo Diaz for him on the outside corner. Foley thought it might have been a little outside.
They say those walks can kill you. There's a great example of it right there. A 2-out walk given up to Tom Prince, and a pitcher driving in 2 runs.
They had good base running, good coaching, got him a second run.
Donnelly did a fine job on that.
Here's another ground ball to the right side. Kruk will grab it and run to the bag, and the Pirates are retired here in the second, but they pick up 2 runs. One of them will be unearned. 2 runs on 2 hits, an error, and it's 2-1.
Did you know Texaco puts System 3 in every grade of gasoline?
System 3 gets high marks in every grade, which is a lot better than I ever did.
My dad says Texaco puts System 3 in every grade. I'm in the 4th grade.
Of course. That's why I always fill up with System 3. What do I look like? Don't say it.
Visit your Texaco station.
I can get the tires rotated, the car lubed, and still get home in time for the game.
Mow the lawn.
For unbeatable System 3 gasolines and so much more.
Mow the lawn.
Mow the lawn.
The new Lexus GS Luxury Performance Sedan. It not only corners better than the BMW 535i, but it rides smoother. Of course, if you still insist on feeling every pebble in the road, be our guest. See the GS at your Lexus dealer. The price is within reach, too.
Hi, I'm Mickey Morandini of the Phillies. When I make the plays at second base, I depend on my Rawlings glove. It's a choice of the pros. At Gold Medal Sporting Goods, you'll find a great selection of Rawlings gloves, balls, and equipment. Plus, Gold Medal is the official retail outlets of the Phillies. So team up with Rawlings and me at any one of the Gold Medal Sporting Goods stores in the Delaware Valley, where you'll find the best service, selection, and prices around.
Friday, May 21st at 7:35, the Phillies play the Montreal Expos, and you can win an instant vacation. Compliments of Rosenbluth Travel and guest quarters, no purchase necessary. For more information and to reserve your tickets, call 463-1000.
Hey, folks, it's Phillies Dream Week time again. Your chance to live and learn, laugh, play, and have all kinds of fun with the pros this February in beautiful Clearwater, Florida. Just imagine yourself with Lisinski and Taylor and Harmon, Jacoby, and Bowe, and Wheeler. Oh, unbelievable. 1 week down there. You keep hearing about it, so why don't you make this the year? Call now for a lot more information about Dream Week. It's 938-1200. That's 215-938-1200. Last year, I was down there. It was a great time. Had a ball, so don't miss out. And there's a guy that probably would love to go to Dream Week. He's got his Phillies cap. He's got his Phillies glove and his Phillies rooter.
He's ready to go. Does he know he'll be spending time right on the beach?
And look, they look like Philly glasses they had on.
Maybe we will see that guy at Dream Week next year. Spots are filling up rapidly, so make that call, 938-1200. We'll see you in Clearwater next spring.
And isn't that a beautiful place to train? On the water. Gorgeous.
About it. Chamberlain, the batter. Wes, first pitch to him is outside. It'll be Chamberlain, Incaviglia, and Juan Bell to face the left-hander Otto. Pirates lead at 2-1. We're in the second inning. Chamberlain batting .423 off left-handed pitching and hitting .327 here at the Vet this year. Otto misses outside, 2-0. So the Pirates play their infield up in the first inning, get 2 themselves in the second, and lead 2-1. And you see those numbers on Chamberlain here at the Vet.
Love to hit on that AstroTurf. You know, I get asked a lot by the visiting broadcasters, Chris, coming in about Chamberlain. You know, you think you come in a team's hot, they want to know about Dalton, Dykstra, Kruk, but a lot of guys, as we've seen Chamberlain swing right through this pitch, ask me about Wes Chamberlain. This kid has a chance to be a force in the National League. He's got power, he's got ability. Hopefully it will blossom soon. Got a chance to hit maybe 20, 25 home runs a year.
Originally signed by the Pittsburgh Pirates. Off-speed pitch misses outside. Now it's 3-1 on Wes. Will look for a fastball here, see if he gets it.
Tad high with that last one.
He got a fastball, fouls it out of play to the upper deck behind the plate. Count full.
You know, it's amazing how many times we've seen a pitcher miss with a pitch badly and then come back and make a pitch almost on the black or on the corner. And you say to yourself, is that the same pitcher I just saw through the last pitch?
Now Otto started into the windup, and Chamberlain wasn't ready, and now he's ready to go.
No, Dalton got a 3-2 breaking ball. Let's see what Chamberlain gets.
That's hit to Jeff King on a big hop. Throws out Chamberlain, 1 away here in the second inning.
Chamberlain got a fastball. He just beat it right in the ground. Otto went right after him, 3-2. He gave him a heater, and he gave it to Chamberlain in an area that really West likes to swing the bat. He just got a little out in front of it and beat it right into the ground.
Pete Incaviglia, the left fielder, batting .259 against left-handers. And Incaviglia now with 11 runs batted in 12 games that he's played here at Veterans Stadium this season. Now making start number 15 tonight. 11 of them coming in left field. Inside Incaviglia, who has seen Dave Otto, of course, in the American League.
You know, Chamberlain, I don't mean Chamberlain, I mean Incaviglia, Chris, is batting in the wrong inning. I hate to tell you this.
That's right.
He should be. They should hold him up and only bat him in the third. And if you're wondering why, folks, all three of Pete Incaviglia's home runs have come. Well, there they are, right there. I'll tell you, in the third inning.
Right on top of it down there, those guys. There's a hard ground ball, backhanded. Foley throws him out, 2 down. Nice play, Tom Foley, as Incaviglia scorched that ball off the middle. They had him positioned perfectly.
It was funny. Today I was on the field watching the Phillies take batting practice, and when Incaviglia came up, as we show you one more time, he really smokes this ball. The Pirate players actually stopped what they were doing on the sidelines to watch Incaviglia hit today. He crushed about 7 or 8 balls into the outfield teeth. I mean, just really tattooed them. And when an opposing team stops to watch another player, that's a little bit of respect.
Juan Bell, the batter. Juan has not seen much activity since Mariano Duncan has been playing so well, but if you just tune in, Duncan has a hamstring pull. Bell fouls it off. The last game that Juan started was on the 29th of April at San Diego in a game the Phillies won 5-3. He's only been in 2 games since. There's Duncan, who thinks that the injury is not serious and hopes to be back real soon. Fouls it off. Phillies would love to have him in the lineup against these left-handers they'll see the next 2 nights in Otto and Tomlin.
This is a good chance, though, for the young kid Bell to get some at-bats. He realizes the situations he's in. Fergosi, the manager, has to go with a hot hand. That's Duncan. So here's an opportunity for him to get maybe 8 at-bats, and he's got to take advantage of it, or at least put the ball in play. Doesn't necessarily have to get a bunch of hits, but he's got to put the bat on the ball, at least show a little consistency.
2 balls and 2 strikes now on Juan Bell. High with a breaking ball. Bell batting .222 from the right side and .182 left-handed. Has the count full. Phillies would like to see him get on and let Rivera bat here in the 2nd inning. Get the pitcher out of the way and lead off with Dykstra should Rivera make the 3rd out. Pop-up foul, first base side. Long run, Merced near the stands, and it's just out of play. Merced playing at first base tonight for the Pirates, and Dave Clark in right. Merced also plays quite a bit of right field for Pittsburgh. He walked him. Bell gets the job done out of the 8-hole and walks, and you get to bring the pitcher up now with 2 outs. Ben Rivera, the batter. Rivera with no batting average this year. He is 0 for 6 with 3 strikeouts. Lifetime an .077 hitter, as you see there, with 2 runs batted in. But Ben will swing hard in case he hits it.
Is that with his eyes open or without?
Let's check it out, see if you can tell. He doesn't get cheated, especially off a lefty.
Well, he's got good form. Waits back. Short stride.
They will not hold Bell on at first as Merced is playing off him. Oop. And a little patent on the glove there. Big Ben takes 2 fastballs in there for strikes, and it's 0-2 on Rivera.
Kind of a very auspicious way to get base hits. Take 2 fastballs down the center of the plate here.
There's a hack, and he fouls it off. Game 2 of this 3-game series. Phillies and the Pirates here again tomorrow night. Tommy Green against Dave Tomlin. Green 3-0, Tomlin 1-3 will be on Sports Channel tomorrow night. Andy Musser and Kent Jacoby will bring that game to you. Another foul at the plate. That one went off Rivera, and it's still 0-2.
Like you said, Chris, he doesn't get cheated. Big swing there, but you see that ball short hop to dirt there, come up and hit him just below his left knee. That's a little bit of a owie.
It's got kind of a little bit of a golf swing. Up the middle and through for a base hit. So much for making the third out and letting Dykstra bat, huh?
Well, you know, what's good for the goose is good for the gander. Otto singled off him, picked up a couple of runs, and now Rivera, down 0-2, is able to battle back and return the favor. This ball is a hard shot right up the middle.
Otto loses his glove here.
He doesn't react very good on it, and then he loses his glove in the process. So Rivera keeps the inning alive with 2 outs, and Dykstra steps in.
And he hit a fly ball to left fielder John Wayner his first time up. Has Juan Bell on at second and Ben Rivera on at first. Those two guys are really good friends as Dykstra fouls it back. In fact, Big Ben and Juan came strolling in the clubhouse together this afternoon. They're the run leaders in the league. See Lenny Dykstra producing 24 runs, even though he's just batting .234 coming into the game, because he's up there among the league leaders in walks. Outside with a breaking ball, it's 1-1. There is Juan Bell at second base. And Ben Rivera at first with 2 outs. 2-1 Pittsburgh. We are in the second inning. There's Dykstra's updated numbers on runners in scoring position. On deck batter is Morandini.
Larry Bowa, third base coach, motioning to Juan Bell to get a little bit bigger lead.
Cubs Ray Miller out. Pitching coach. I have a word with Otto.
7th year as a Pirates pitching coach. What a job he's done.
Well, Prism's May Days movie madness. Feature great movies like Lethal Weapon 3, My Girl with Jamie Lee Curtis, and Stephen King's Sleepwalkers. But the summer of '93 gets underway next month with The Prince of Tides, Class Act, Double Impact, and Batman Returns. So don't touch that dial. Prism is the place to be for the summer of '93. It feels like the summer of '93 here at the Vet tonight.
Danny DeVito, Jamie Lee Curtis, my kind of people. Ray Miller, 7 years with the Pirates as a pitching coach, 13 years overall as a pitching coach. One-time manager, the Minnesota Twins.
Dykstra up the middle, and Otto with that big long reach picked Dykstra, and Lenny is retired. And look at him, he can't believe it. In the inning for the Phillies, no runs a hit, no errors, and 2 left. 2-1 Pirates after 2.
You can feel it deep inside. You're the one with a real sense of pride, and you're giving it your best. Proud to be your bud, Budweiser. Proud to be your bud. Proud to be your bud. Ooh, yeah. Proud to be your. Proud to be your bud.
Yeah, how far away do you think I can get in 72 hours?
I wouldn't trust my car past the city limits.
For the way you travel today more than ever, the smart money is on budget. Ask for budget smart rates for great prices on cars that won't cramp your style, all with unlimited mileage. The smart money is on budget.
Today, Nature World brings us to residential America, home of Cub Cadet lawn tractors, like this 1330. A common sight in these grassy areas, Cub Cadet lawn tractors can easily be recognized by their distinctive markings and features, like a pivoting cast iron front axle, electric PTO, and a welded steel frame. The 1330's mulching kit lets you care for your environment by disposing of grass clippings naturally. Appearing in your neighborhood soon, Cub Cadet, working over time.
Friday, May 21st at 7:35, the Phillies play the Montreal Expos, and you can win an instant vacation. Compliments of Rosenbluth Travel and guest quarters, no purchase necessary. For more information and to reserve your tickets, call 463-1000.
Pack your bags, be ready to go on the spot to win in many exciting locations on Instant Vacation Night, Friday, May 21st. Phillies and the Expos. Trips are compliments of Rosenbluth International guest quarters and U.S. Air. Call 463-1000 for your tickets. We'll see you at Instant Vacation Night.
Watch the play by Otto. Just does catch it in the glove. Sticks his glove up there. Oh, look what I got. But had he not got it, as you saw coming over at the lower right-hand part of your screen, Jay Bell was really almost getting ready to be behind second base. So either way, they would have probably got Lenny had not Otto caught that. He might have deflected it, though, so
yeah,
we'll never know.
Lenny was not upset. I don't think he wants to hear it, though, that Jay Bell might have caught it. Here is Bell, who struck out his first time up. Bell 0 for 1. His average now at .308. Bell, Van Slyke, and King to face Ben Rivera, and the pitch is a good fastball over for a strike. And it's 0-2. Rivera hurt by the one walk he's issued tonight. That to Prince with 2 outs in the second. Pirates wound up with a couple of runs. 0-2 to Bell. Just a little low, 1-2.
We talked earlier about Jay Bell getting a big contract from the Pirates this year, and one of the big reasons is that he led all major league shortstops in assists, chances, putouts, and double plays last year. He also led them in extra base hits. And out of the tool hole, he led the National League with 87 runs and 55 RBIs as a #2 hitter. It was the best in the baseball business last year out of the tool hole and for all the National League shortstops.
Swing and a miss, struck him out. So Ben Rivera picks up strikeout #2, both of them against Jay Bell, 1 away.
Bell going after a very high fastball. Watch this pitch here. Just above the bell. He tried to really uppercut it way back. Look at this. Now it falls back a little bit. I think he was trying to go long ball, maybe.
Congratulations to Bill and Lynn Purvis of Orland on the birth of a baby girl yesterday, and also to Anthony and Vicky Dean for their son Anthony Andrew. We have birthday wishes to Dominic D'Alessandro.
Also, Joe Kennedy, 34 years old, from Southwest Philly. Happy birthday, Joe, from a good friend of yours here at the stadium.
Van Slyke, who doubled on an 0-2 breaking ball his first time up. Count of 0-1 on the guy they call Slick. Now batting at .298. That's a base hit up the middle.
Well, what'd you say? He was 7 for 10 coming into tonight. Now he's 9 for 12.
9 for 12 off Ben Rivera is Andy Van Slyke. And, you know, Rivera's trying everything to get him out, and he just cannot get Andy Van Slyke out.
Last year, Van Slyke tied Gary Sheffield with 199 hits to lead. Tie for the lead in the National League, was second to him in batting with a .324, and off Ben Rivera, he's a mere 9 for 12.
There you are against Ben Rivera. That's a cool .750.
Yeah. Kid stuff.
Came into the game batting .700 off Ben. He's upped it. It's not easy. Jeff King, the batter. The first pitch is over for strike 1. King grounded out his first time up. That going to the shortstop Juan Bell.
King's struggling, isn't he, Chris?
Yeah, he was 1 for 17 coming into this game, so 1 for his last 18. Strike caught on a breaking ball, 0-2. He thought it was high. That's what happens when you're 1 for 18.
Yes. Yeah, he started out the season, he was pretty hot. In his first couple of weeks, he hit the ball very well, but like you said, lately he's been hitting a lot of atom ball. When you're 1 for 18, you start looking for things to go wrong, and they usually do.
0 for 4 in the game last night. Come inside with a pitch, do they? And it's ball 1. 2-4-0 for Pittsburgh. 1-3-1 Phillies. We are in the top of the third, game 2 of this 3-game series between the Phillies and the Bucks. Fly ball center field. Fly ball for Dykstra to his left. Waits. And Lenny grabs it 2 away.
Rivera with a good curveball. King with an uppercut swing. And Lenny Dykstra, for all you youngsters out there, as King goes out for this
curveball with a textbook catch using 2 hands. So for you youngsters that think big leaguers don't use 2 hands, watch Lenny make the catch. It's exactly how you're supposed to do it.
Tuck it away. Orlando Merced, the batter, and it's a curveball over for strike 1. Merced, his first time up, grounded sharply to Kruk at first. He has the hole on the right side as Kruk has to hold Andy Van Slyke on at first base with 2 outs. Fly ball left field in Cavilla towards the line, and he grabs it in fair territory. Gone to the Pirates in the 3rd. No runs, a hit, no errors, and 1 man left on base. After 2.5 innings, it's the Pirates 2 and the Phillies 1.
It has been 22 years, over a generation of pulling on the uniform of a professional baseball player. For Larry Anderson, now 40 years of age, the on-field role has rarely changed. He's a classic setup man. But off the field now, Andy has taken on the role of father confessor, a role he cherishes.
Actually, it's I do try and talk to the young kids, you know, and be open and receptive to any questions they have, or make myself available to them. And they have questions. A lot of them, they want to know, you know, what was this guy like, or, you know, when you played, what was going on. And, you know, telling them when I first went up to the big leagues, the minimum salary was $16,000. And, you know, it's kind of a shock to them. But it's fun for me. It helps me to reflect and think about those times and how far it's come and how lucky I've been, really.
It's a terrific day. It's equipment bag day, full size with red and blue logos on the handles. Amazing. It's a great bag, and it's for all children 14 and under. Compliments of Super President. It'll be a great day to bring out the family, so make your plans early. Call to order those tickets now by phone, or stop by any one of the local Ticketmaster locations. You can call the Phillies at 463-6000 right there on your screen.
Certainly enjoyed that Phillies profile with Larry Rosen. The senior statesman of the Phillies, 40-year-old Larry Anderson, has done a good job for the Phils this year. Pitching as a setup man for Mitch Williams. Here's Mickey Morandini, who doubled and scored a run.
And he keeps him loose in the clubhouse, which is exactly a big reason why the Phillies are winning. As this pitch is outside, or I'm sorry, it's a strike.
Morandini's double down the right field line. He scored on Kruk's single. And Mickey takes it over for strike 2, a breaking ball. Dave Otto threw 50 pitches. Not a real good ratio. Fastball hit to left field. Wainer right there. 1 away. That'll bring up Kruk, who singled in the first, knocked in Morandini. For Kruk, his 18th run batted in of the year. Kruk has always hit well against the Pittsburgh Pirates. Batting .325 coming into the game tonight against the Pirates. One of 5 teams he has a 300-plus average against in his career.
Well, they got a base hit on the fastball. Let's see if they try and stay away with breaking balls, and there's one right there. Usually left-handers hit left-handers well. The left-handed pitcher try and come in with the fastball, run it in up into the hands, and go away with the breaking ball. So far, we've seen 2 textbook ones right there. Breaking ball on the outside for a strike, and then he tried to come in with the fastball up. Kruk fouled that one off.
There are the updated numbers of John Kruk against Pittsburgh.
Actually, I don't think John Kruk cares which way a guy throws. The way he swings the bat and his stance doesn't make any difference. He just looks for the ball.
There's a fastball top. This is a tough play for Merced. Bare hand throws, safe. Kruk really hustled and beat it with a slide into first. Merced did all he could do, and Otto covered.
You know, that's one of the few times, Chris, I actually believe you're going to see where a slide helps a guy get a base hit, because Otto, with those big, tall, long legs, had Kruk beat. But when Kruk slides his feet out, get out in front of him, and just beat Otto. Had Kruk continued to run, he would have been out. That's one of the very few times they always tell you to run through the bag. But because of the long legs by Otto, and Kruk was able to get those legs out in front, he just did beat him.
Wally Bell the call, and Dave Hollins the batter. Hollins fly to left his first time up. The pitch to Dave. Tops it towards third. Here comes King. He's got a top fly. Base hit. Boy, the Phillies are really putting a pounding on Otto.
Well, if you hit him at him, hit him where they can't get him, you know?
Two little swinging bunts, and the Phils have 2 on for Dalton, 1 out.
One of the more frustrating parts about being a pitcher is when you make a good pitch and a guy has a big swing and just tops the ball, your infielders are playing back, and there's not a whole lot they can do with that. King came in and tried to make the one-handed play a la Mike Schmidt, but we all know there's only one Mike Schmidt.
Dave Hollins happy to get that hit. Just a 196 career hitter of the Pirates coming into the game tonight. Dalton struck out on a 3-2 hook his first time up, and Otto pushes him off home plate with a good fastball inside.
I think Dalton was looking breaking ball out over the plate. He wanted the outer part of the plate. He went into that pitch. A lot of people here booed. It wasn't as close as people actually thought it was, but Dalton swinging and missing on a curveball in his last at bat, looking to protect that outer part of the plate.
It looked like he was kind of diving into that pitch.
Yes, he was, and you know, like I said, then he realized it was inside, he just backs away. Of course, everybody thinks that there was a knockdown pitch, but all Darren was doing was looking to protect that outside, or looking for that pitch outside, maybe trying to go with it.
Kruk at second, Hollins at first, 1 out in the third, 2-1 Pittsburgh. 2-0. Wes Chamberlain waits on deck.
You can see it in Dalton's stance. He's up about 6 inches from the back line, and his front foot, his right foot, goes in about 4 to 6 inches in towards the plate, diving in for that ball. You can see right there. And he's looking for the outer part of the plate. He feels he's quick enough that if it's inside, he can get around.
Otto thought he had the outside part of the plate then, but no. Says Terry Tate, and Chamberlain waits. 3-0 to Dalton. 3-0 pitch on the way. Fastball right down the middle, taking all the way. 3-1. Dalton took 3-0 last night and then hit the ball out on a 3-1 pitch.
Last night he got a fastball 3-1. Struck out on a curveball earlier. Let's see if the Pirates decide to change their strategy on a 3-1 pitch. Give him a breaking ball here.
High fastball. He takes it. Ball 4. Phillies have him loaded for Wes Chamberlain with 1 out. Dalton, who leads the league in walks, gets another one.
Walk number 2 by Dave Otto.
And walk number 30 on the year to Darren Dalton. Here is Chamberlain, who grounded out his first time up and grounded out to the third baseman King.
This is where Chamberlain really has to be selective, Chris. He can't be going after the first pitch unless it's right down the center of the plate. He's got runners on the pond here with only 1 out. He's got to get something he can drive, or a pitch he's looking for in a good part of the hitting zone, and take a good swing at it. Can't be having no pop-ups there. Crowd drive the ball somewhere.
Crowd really into this game. It's the 3rd inning. Outside, ball 1, a breaking ball. Chamberlain, a lifetime 300 hitter against his old mates, the Pirates. This crowd is roaring, and it's only 2-1 in the 3rd. The Phillies trailing by a run.
They're excited.
Talk about being into this stuff. Ground ball to 3rd. Tough play for King. He'll get 1 at 2nd, and that's it. Dalton made sure Chamberlain took a head-first dive into 1st. It's an RBI for Chamberlain. The game's tied at 2.
Now Dalton, a good running catcher, was able to make sure that Foley had no play at first base. We'll show you the play. Dalton going down there hard. The ball was going down and inside. Chamberlain beat it in the ground. Foley gets to throw and decide wisely to hold on that place. You can see how hard Dalton slides into Foley. He wanted to make sure there was no throw whatsoever. The Phillies tied up.
Incaviglia the batter, and the bullpen is up already for Pittsburgh. Anybody thinks, why didn't he step on 3rd? He looked like he was too far away. Incaviglia hit a hard ground ball to Foley his first time up. Incaviglia mentioned it earlier, how he has hit very well here at Veterans Stadium this year. Wagner the right-hander, Moeller the left-hander. Dennis Moeller and Paul Wagner. Swing and a miss at a fork ball. He has a fastball, curveball, and forkball, and it looked like he started Incaviglia with one of those forkballs.
He does have a split finger fastball, and of course here we are in the third inning, and Incaviglia back up again. And we don't have to tell you what that means with the crowd. We started to hear the noise and the clapping already.
1-1 to Incaviglia. On deck is Juan Bell. Game tied now at 2 here in the third. Phillies have out-hit the Pirates 5-4.
And even though Incaviglia has only been up 63 times, he has a .348 batting average with runners in scoring positions. Oh, he's done an excellent job for the Phillies in that area this year.
Fanatic into it early. 2 balls and 1 strike now in Incaviglia here in the third with runners at the corners.
I hate to have to do his laundry.
Hot night for the Fanatic. Slider 3-1 off speed pitch. Juan Bell the batter. Juan Bell on deck, as we mentioned, with 2 outs. There's Leland looking on. See if he gives him a 3-1 fastball. If it's a breaking ball, then they're saying, well, we'd rather pitch to Bell.
Well, I would.
It's a fastball, and he tops it to short. Bell on a big hop, throws, and he just got him. So Incaviglia is retired. So are the Phillies here in the third inning. They tie the game with a run on 2 infield hits. No errors and 2 left. 2-2 after 3.
This is your world. Genuine and true. You're the one who keeps coming through. Because you're giving it your best. Proud to be your bud. Budweiser. Proud to be your bud. Proud to be your bud. Ooh, yeah. Proud to be your Proud to be your bud.
Highly sensitive microphones and even stethoscopes were used to isolate noises in the new Intrepid. Triple sealed doors, specially designed tires, and a unique muffler system were used to quiet them. You said your next car had to be quiet.
Excuse me.
And boy, did we listen. Intrepid. This changes everything.
7 big games are coming up. First, the Expos. Thursday, May 20th. Friday, May 21st. Instant vacation night, Saturday, May 22nd. And Sunday afternoon, May 23rd, when all kids 14 and under get a free equipment bag. Then it's the Mets. Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, May 24th, 25th, and 26th, all at 7:35. Call 463-1000.
So Gary Maddox says, are you ready?
Yes.
Gary Maddox has joined us here in the fourth inning.
My cord's a little tight.
How about the noise level here in the third inning of this game?
Yeah, they're pretty excited. I think they expect something to happen every time the Phillies come to bat, and it's been happening.
Why not?
It's been happening. So, things are going good. People are enjoying out at the ballpark. Look at the weather. Everything's great. This is great times. It's good to see the Phillies back on top and enjoying some success.
3-1 to Incaviglia with runners at the corners. Juan Bell on deck. Looks like a split finger.
Well, good call there, and that Juan Bell is on deck, and he was going to not challenge Incaviglia in that situation. And Incaviglia, being a power hitter and not wanting to leave it up to the next guy, went ahead and chased a pitch that was maybe out of the strike zone.
But the Phillies have tied the game, and here we go to the top of the fourth inning. Dave Clark, the batter, takes a strike call, followed by Tom Prince and John Wayner. He grounded back to the pitcher, Rivera, his first time up. Strike 2 call. Rivera throwing mostly fastball, curveball tonight, trying to sink his fastball.
Well, Darren usually tries to set up some type of a pattern with him where he'll change. If he's throwing fastball early in the game, he'll come back and throw a lot of breaking balls later, or vice versa, whichever pitch he happens to have working early.
Foul back. Noticed that earlier in the game, and I have no idea what that is.
Well, you remember what Manny Trio used to do to his gloves, right? He used to take that shoe polish and gradually he'd start to color it in. It's like it was a coloring book. He started coloring in different parts of it. Started one part and move on. The next thing you know, in a couple of weeks, he had it all colored.
Well, we'll have to check with Ben, find out what he's done to that glove.
Another thing you might consider is that considered a distraction.
Well, yeah. Nobody said anything about it yet. The Pirates haven't complained. We're in a 2-2 game here in the 4th inning. Looks like you get a big old caterpillar on there or something. Clark beats it foul first base side.
You need to pitch Clark inside. He loves to get his hands extended. That time Ben got in under his hands a little bit and he had a little trouble extending those arms.
Dave Clark, the veteran, many years in the American League, also with the Chicago Cubs here in the National League. Been with the Pirates the last couple seasons. 1 ball and 2 strikes to him. Might have been a changeup. Ball went down.
Yeah, it was a changeup. It didn't fool him because it really slowed up his motion. His delivery was there and it was a dead giveaway.
Yeah, the key to the changeup is to keep your arm speed the same. There's the All-Star ballots being handed out. That balloting started last night. Misses high, and the count full now at 3-2. Rivera has walked 1 batter tonight, and he scored, that being Tom Prince. Three and 2 to Dave Clark. Struck him out. Down on strikes goes Clark. Strikeout number 3 in the game for Rivera.
Ben Rivera doing what he does best, and that's rearing back and throwing that hard fastball. Fooled around with a changeup and a breaking ball, but when it came down to it, he just fired that fastball. Clark waved at it.
And that'll bring up the catcher Prince, who walked with 2 outs in the 2nd inning and scored the Pirates' first run. There's a fastball over for a strike. Ben Rivera has a 1.38 earned run average this year in the 2 starts that he's made after his normal 4 days rest.
Ooh.
There's another fastball for a strike. That's why the Phillies sent him to Florida last week to pitch, so that he wouldn't sit around so long with the off days.
It's amazing what they do with those statistics, isn't it?
Going to go fastball away.
Ooh.
And he hits it high in the air to dead center. Right there, Dykstra waits. Easy play for Lenny. 2 down.
Ben Rivera has such good stuff that he doesn't have to have good location all the time, and I'm sure he has to come to recognize that. Darren Dalton wanted the ball away that time and down, and the ball was up in the strike zone and looked right over the plate. He still couldn't.
How about that, Gary? You talk about some losses. Wow. Pittsburgh Pirates have lost a lot of terrific players, and it's not because they didn't want to keep them. Strictly economics.
I think you have to tip your hat to the job the Pittsburgh Pirates do. I mean, this year, you know, it's still to be determined whether or not they're going to be competitive, but that's been their philosophy. They have not had the big bucks at any time, and yet they still managed to be competitive. Made some smart trades and some good business decisions, in my estimation.
2 balls and no strikes on Wainer, hitting out of the 8-hole. Wainer singled and scored in the 2nd inning. And this guy has a lot to do with their success. The manager of Pittsburgh, Jim Leyland.
Right. He takes whatever they put on the field
and does not complain.
No.
He says, heck, I used to have Bonilla and Bonds and Smiley, and they were young players. We developed them, so he says we'll develop this bunch. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Wainer. High fastball popped up near the Phillies dugout. Kruk has a play, and he grabs it, and that'll do it for the Pirates in the 4th. No runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left. Through 3.5, 2-2.
She's an assistant bank manager, a real go-getter. But tonight, she's Sally Camp, pizza delivery girl. You see, Sally thinks she has to drive to get great pizza. It's like she's working for the local pizzeria. Come on, Sally. Wake up and smell the mozzarella. Call Pizza Hut Delivery for delicious piping hot pizza. And right now, get a large Neapolitan pizza for $6.99 or 2 for $10.99. Hey, Sal, get off the road and phone it in. Why pick up? Pizza Hut delivers.
Some people will only go to Texaco. Why?
Why? Are you kidding? Look at this cab. It's as clean as my fuel injectors.
System 3 gasoline helps restore performance to older models. I know about that. And Doritos. Ha ha!
Everybody gets what they want. Tommy gets pretzels, Dawn gets juice, Van gets System 3.
Visit your Texaco station and Food Mart for unbeatable System 3 gasolines and so much more.
I always come here to fill up. Thank you. Thank you very much.
What's new with mobile? Let's take a look.
Introducing new Mobile Super Plus detergent gasoline. It still cleans fuel injectors and intake valves.
Now it helps keep the very heart of your engine cleaner. Down here, the cylinders and pistons.
So come down to the Big Red O and drive your engine clean with new Mobile Super Plus, the detergent gasoline.
Photo night's coming up. This is always one of the most popular nights of the year. It'll be Saturday, June 5th. At 7 o'clock, you'll get your chance to see the Phillies and the Colorado Rockies. Come on out early. Picture taking is from 5:45 to 6:15 on the field at the Vet. This is compliments of Kodak. So call 463-1000 or stop by a local Ticketmaster location. Taking your picture here at the Vet on a lovely night. Here is Juan Bell, followed by Ben Rivera, and then Lenny Dykstra. Rivera swings and misses at a forkball. All of a sudden, Otto's starting to throw that pitch. That was on the scouting reports that he throws it quite a bit. And he didn't appear to be throwing it that much early in the game. I think he's getting some confidence with it. See, Bell walked his first time up. There's a pitch outside, fastball, and it's 1-1. Rivera on deck, and Ben got a base hit. Misses away again, 2-1. He doesn't come inside that much, does his left-hander. And Bell takes it outside. Good eye, 3-1. Here's what Dave Otto has done thus far through 3+ innings. Ben Rivera has given up 2 runs in his 4 innings, 1 of them earned. Good job by Juan Bell. He walks again. That's walk number 3 issued by Otto in his last start. Otto went 7 innings, walked 2 and struck out 4. That was on the 28th of April when he lost 4-2 to Cincinnati. Here is Rivera 1 for 1 with a single. Could be up here to bunt.
Oh, get out of here.
Hey, with that stroke last time. And a move over to first. They like to try and see if maybe the pitcher will show that he's going to bunt, but they expect him to, certainly. Merced will be charging from first and King from third. Ben fouls it into the Phillies dugout. Look out for Gosse. There's Boa going through the signs. Ben Rivera this year has 1 successful sacrifice. There's his countryman Juan Bell leading off first. Around the bunt. That's a good one. Prince will have to throw to first. Tom Foley, the second baseman, takes the play. That's a sacrifice 2-4. Bell to second base, and Ben Rivera gets the bunt down.
Here you're going to see the Phillies all year have been doing the little things that you need to do to win championships anyway. That's make the sacrifice bunts to help to move the runner along. That's advancing the runner. That's playing good defense. I mean, they've just been doing everything. It's a complete turnaround from last season.
They have a little pitcher's pool going right now, and every time one of the pitchers don't get a bunt down, they have to contribute to the fund.
As much as they want?
No, I think there's a set amount, and it's substantial. Here's Dykstra. Lenny is 0 for 2 tonight. He flied to left and hit a ball up to the right of Otto, who leaped in the air and speared it and threw him out at first. Lenny at 230, coming into the game at 234. He has a runner in scoring position. Juan Bell at second base. Van Slyke shading him towards left center. Breaking ball, and it is over for a strike. Otto already at 75 pitches and not a real good ratio.
Well, he's what we call a nibbler. He's trying to Hit the ball on the outside part of the plate or just out of the strike zone to get you chased. Ooh, right down the middle.
Hey, Lenny must have been guessing something else there because he got a fastball, as you said, right down the middle.
It's 2 strikes.
Yeah. The last pitch was called a strike. So it's 2 balls. I think it's 1 and 2 is the count. It is 1 ball and 2 strikes. That's what Lenny was checking with Terry Tatum to make sure he had the count correct. Outside, now it's 2 and 2 to Dykstra with Morandini waiting on deck.
This is an odd sight for a left-handed batter to see someone this tall out there throwing from the left side.
See, Lenny Dykstra has been good against left-handers since 1990. Yes, needs to pick it up a little bit this year, which he plans on doing and will. 2 and 2 to Dykstra. Fly ball deep right center field. Long run Van Slyke. He's there and waits, and Bell will tag and head for third. Van Slyke with a strong arm, and Bell slides in ahead of it. Well, Dykstra hits a deep fly ball to the outfield. Bell tags up and goes to third. There are 2 away now for Morandini.
Then he gets a fastball he likes. It's up a little bit. He still goes after it, just a little bit behind. It pops it up.
Mickey has a double tonight and has scored one of the Phillies' 2 runs. And Otto steps off. He will work from the stretch with 2 outs. There is Bell on at third base.
Morandini hitting better against left-handers this year than he is against right-handers, and that was one of his big problems.
That's playable. Shallow left field. Bell, the shortstop, will go out, and he will run Rayner off the play, and that'll do it for the Phillies here in the 4th inning. No runs, no hits, no errors. They'll leave 1. We're through 4 and tied at 2.
Up on the roof, when this whole world starts getting me down, and people are just too much for me to face, I climb way up to the top of the stairs, and all my cares just drift right into space. I get away from the hustling crowd and all that rat race noise down in the street. On the roof, the only place I know.
New Club World. Let all your cares drift right into space.
So let's go up on the roof.
British Airways, the world's favorite airline.
You can feel it deep inside. Dedication and a real sense of pride. And you're giving it your best. Proud to be your bud. Budweiser. Proud to be your bud. Proud to be your bud. Ooh, yeah. Proud to be your Proud to be bud.
And here we go to the top of the 5th inning, and once again these fighting Phils are in a tough game. 2-2. They were in a lot of close games. Dave Otto will lead it off, followed by Tom Foley and then Jay Bell. Well, we haven't used this yet tonight, so we might as well roll it out. Here comes Dave Otto, who has that palindromic surname. It's the same backwards as forwards, and there are 7 players in Major League history to have such a name. The most well-known one would probably be Toby Harrah, as he grounds out.
He's the most well-known. We can forget about the rest.
Hey kids, this is for you. A dream come true. Once again, Milk Duds Candies and the Phillies are teaming up to offer kids 6 to 16 a chance to be a celebrity bat boy or bat girl and win 4 box seats tickets to a game. All you have to do is pick up an entry form at the advanced ticket windows, the fan accommodation room behind section 224 here at the Vet. We're looking at your Phillies souvenir program. Hurry, this offer is limited. Tom Foley, the batter.
So what are you going to do? Give one a day?
I think that's what I think they have a boy and a girl out here.
No, I mean one a day of the 11 people you said.
No, there's 7 of them.
7. Are you going to give us one a month?
No, you wrote one down because there was only one. Mark Salas is another one. He used to be with St. Louis. See, the guys people don't really know. That's a tough word to pronounce. That's a McCarver type word.
Palindrome?
Yeah. 2-0. Timmy used to write those words down on the top of his scorecard and then work them in. High ball 3 to Foley, who was lined out and grounded out.
Well, you guys are cut from the same mold. I remember when you guys first started working out and doing those games.
We had fun together, I'll tell you. Timmy, of course, has gone on to be a mega star.
What happened to you?
Just hanging out, you know. Ball 4 to Tom Foley.
Well, you're not doing too bad. What are you on? 3 TV stations, 2 radio stations?
That's walk number 2 by Rivera. And Jay Bell, the batter, who has struck out twice tonight. There's Bell batting at 306. Really the heart and soul of this ball club. I guess you would add Van Slyke to that mix, but these 2 guys are the ones that really make the Pirates go. Bell coming over here in a deal for Felix Fermin from Cleveland a few years ago. Remember Bell getting one of his first appearances in a Pirates uniform against the Phillies in Florida. Breaking ball, and he starts him with a strike. On deck is Van Slyke, who is just wearing Ben Rivera out. 9 for 12 lifetime. Tom Foley, a 1-out base runner for the Pirates here in the 5th. We're tied at 2. Aaron Dalton wants a breaking ball. Ben Rivera obliges, and it's a strike.
Yeah, but you know, no catcher ever asked for a breaking ball inside where that one was.
No, he didn't mean for it to hang in there that way. Bell is an opposite field hitter. Phillies shade him towards right center, especially now that he's behind in the count. Play him up the middle with the middle infielders, hoping for a double play, and then Rivera wouldn't have to face Van Slyke. 1-2. There's Tom Foley. The Phillies got him from Cincinnati, or they traded him to Cincinnati. No, they got him from Cincinnati for Bo Diaz. I get that right yet.
I was on the team when he came over too.
Yeah, he came to Philadelphia for Bo Diaz. That's the easy way to do it, huh? There's another guy in that deal, but let's forget about it. 2-2. Hard ground ball, a base hit to left field. Foley will stop at second as Incaviglia fields it. So now Ben Rivera is in trouble because here comes Van Slyke.
We talked about Ben's location, and that was a ball he got up again that Jay Bell was able to jump right on. Look at the pitch, right down the middle and up a little bit in the strike zone.
Well, Andy Van Slyke 2 for 2 tonight. His average at 304. We gave you those other numbers. 9 for 12 lifetime off Rivera. He has a triple and a single in this ball game. On deck is a right-handed batting Jeff King. Curveball and a beauty over for a strike.
That's an interesting looking bat he has right there. Interesting color. I haven't seen. I know I've been gone for a while, but that still looks unusual.
Yeah, they're starting to use some of these.
Some of the Japanese bats.
Yeah, they're kind of wine colored, but that's a two-toner. Ooh. Van Slyke normally guesses right with Ben Rivera. This time it looked like he was swinging fastball and he got a breaking ball.
Boy, didn't he? He got a good one right there. That's the kind of movement you want. That's the location you want. And if a hitter like Van Slyke will chase after it, you know you got a good pitch working.
Now Van Slyke tripled on an 0-2 pitch in the first inning.
Well, you become a different hitter with 2 strikes on you, whereas he might be guessing before then. Now he's going to hit what he sees. try to hit and receive.
Another curveball, and he hits it foul third base side. He was just protecting on that pitch. That ball takes a crazy carom all the way down to the corner.
Watch this pitch. It's a hanger outside, and he goes out there and almost hits it inside the bag. But look at the location, up in the strike zone. We saw the pitch before that was way down, and he chased it and couldn't make contact. Had it right up there, eye high, with nothing on it.
Van Slyke is a high ball hitter. Even though he's a left-handed hitter, he lights the ball up, and that's where he really hurts pitchers. No balls and 2 strikes, and here we go again to Van Slyke. Ben Rivera bluffs Tom Foley back to second, nobody covering. Foley the runner on at second, and Jay Bell at first. Foley an average runner, Bell just about the same. There they are, maybe a little below average. Big spot in the ball game for Rivera against the guy he has trouble with. Fastball way inside. Good play by Dalton, 1 and 2. I think Darren wanted the fastball inside.
Well, yeah, you're right. He wanted a fastball inside. It was an effort by Ben to get it in there. He really forced it in and didn't make a good pitch at all.
Yeah, if he didn't want it in there, there's no way Dalton could have caught it. He wouldn't have been looking for that. One and 2 to Van Slyke. Oh, baby. Boy, he made a good pitch on him then.
Van Slyke seems to have him zoned in real nice. This ball does miss outside. Darren Dalton does a good job of bringing it back, as you'll see, but it missed a little bit.
2 balls and 2 strikes. And Van Slyke got him back to even. Fastball fouled out of play left side. When you say a hitter has a guy zoned in pretty well, what do you mean by that?
Well, that's if you try, you know him so well that if he tries to come inside with the fastball, you're sitting right there. You know everything he does and what it all looks like, and when you feel good up there and you're in the zone like Van Slyke is right now.
You see it right out of his hand?
Yeah, somebody could just as well, they may as well tell you what's coming. Have a better chance of getting you out if they let you throw it up and hit it yourself.
Well, let's see what happens. 2 and 2 to Van Slyke. Breaking ball, and he hits it to Kruk. Kruk's going to go to second. Back to first. Oh, boy, Rivera just did grab that. Safe as Van Slyke. Kruk made a good play on that to get the lead man. So they'll have runners at the corners, and he finally gets Van Slyke out.
Gets him on a breaking ball. It's a 2-2 breaking ball. Up a little bit. Van Slyke goes after it. And you see John Kruk. It was hit hard enough, so it was a good attempt at a double play. Bell comes across. And Rivera, like you said, it's a tough play to make when you're running up that line to have to reach for a ball like that.
Yeah, big, tall Ben Rivera had to extend for that one. You saw John Kruk point to Rivera, too, to turn around and make sure Foley wasn't trying to score. So King, the batter, now 0 for 2 tonight. Runners at the corners with 2 outs in a 2-2 game here in the 5th inning.
How many times you've seen a pitcher get to 2 outs and then cave in?
Pop-up. Dalton off with the mask. He appears to have room. He does, and Rivera did not cave in. He's out of the inning. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, and the Pirates will leave 2 to the bottom of the 5th, tied up.
Up on the roof, when this whole world starts getting me down, and people are just too much for me to face. I climb way up to the top of the stairs, and all my cares just drift right into space. I get away from the hustling crowd and all that rat race noise down in the street. On the roof, the only place I know.
New Club World. Let all your cares drift right into space.
So let's go up on the roof.
British Airways, the world's favorite airline.
I remember last year, honey, when we were moving.
Right.
Well, she called us and said if we put both our new house and car policies with her, we would save money.
Well, we have so many choices at Nationwide.
And my job is to make you aware of your options.
She's always there with an answer.
That's the way we're trained, to be very knowledgeable and to be there when people really need you the most. And that's important.
Agents like Margaret are Nationwide.
Nationwide is on your side.
Brought to you by Nationwide Insurance. Nationwide is on your side. Your Nationwide agent in Lansdowne is Bernie Carr.
This copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the Phillies and is intended solely for the private, non-commercial use of our audience and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form or otherwise used without the express written consent of the Phillies. Here we go to the bottom of the fifth, tied at 2. John Kruk will lead it off for the Phils, followed by Dave Hollins and Darren Dalton. The Phillies in their wheelhouse of their lineup. They're 3, 4, 5 coming up. Kruk tonight is 2 for 2 with a run batted in. Kruk has raised his average 7 points. That's hit the deep left, and Wainer on his way back at the track. Nice play by a guy who's normally a third baseman.
You know, it's a tough play for a guy that's new out there because as he breaks towards left center, the ball from a left-hander starts to tail the other way. And you can see him at the last minute right himself, square himself up so that he can make the play.
Sometimes you see a guy get turned around on that play and then they never recover, and he didn't, Gary.
Very easy. See, he gets right there and then he straightens himself up so that he can make the play. He's saying like, wow, that was just a routine ball. You see that?
Good play by him. You know I'm a third baseman. Anybody know that? Here's Dave Hollins, 1 for 2.
I'll tell you what's amazing about playing the outfield, because you know when you're out for batting practice and your pregame warm-up, the pitchers are out there, they're shagging them, catching them behind their back, and they think, God, you guys get paid for this?
Here's John Wainer, the Pittsburgh native. Ooh. Deep to right field, down the line. This ball is a fair ball home run, Dave Hollins. Dave Hollins with his home run for him. That's number 5, right?
I don't know. It's a home run, though.
It is number 5.
Just like that, a 2-run ding-dong.
Boy, is he strong, Gary. I'm telling you.
Boy, watch where he hits the ball. The key to hitting the ball out the other way, look how far back over the plate the ball is when he makes contact. See, the ball is almost even with him. It's almost as if it's behind him when he hits that ball. And the only way you can hit it is to right field.
His 5th home run of the year off the screen. And the Phillies now lead it 3-2. And Chento has just donated another $200 to the Child Guidance Clinic for the home run just hit by Dave Hollins. He's now hit 3 right-handed and 2 left-handed. That's what I was looking for down here, and I couldn't find it. So the Phillies hit another home run. Dalton with a ground ball to first. Merced backed up, now comes up and gets it on the short hop, 2 down. Dave Hollins, who is so strong that he can hit those opposite field homers.
I'll tell you, it's the fact that it hits the screen. Isn't that the way everything's going this year? Just
yeah, and you know, earlier in batting practice, the wind was blowing pretty hard here, and those screens are really moving. They're dead still right now, except after he hit it. That's Hollins' 24th run batted in on the year.
And you really do. When you think about guys that pull the ball, when they pull it, they're hitting the ball way out in front of the plate. If you hit the ball to center field, it's a little bit further to you. But when you hit the ball out to right field, you usually hit the ball when it's almost by you, like Dave Hollins did.
Chamberlain gets it down and in breaking ball and rips it foul out of play. Russ has an RBI, or has a RBI in the game on an infield out. He's grounded out twice. Well, Hollins does try to do that a lot off left-handers, is hit the ball the other way, and he's so strong the park can't hold him.
Well, what you do when you wait like that is it gives you a longer look at the pitch. You're not likely to be fooled. You're able to pick up what the pitch is if you take a little longer to look at it.
Chamberlain with an 0-2 count.
Boy, I tell you, when a ball does that, that was a pitcher's pitch, and he was able to get the bat on it to stay alive.
0-2 on Wes. Otto has has not come inside much tonight, but if you're ever going to come into a hitter, it would be Chamberlain because of the way he dives into the ball.
Well, and now Chamberlain just backed off the plate a little bit after that inside pitch because his hands were almost over the plate before.
And he gets him as he goes back away. A strikeout for Otto, but the Phillies take the lead in the inning on Hollins' 5th of the year. 1 run, 1 hit, no errors, nobody left. Phil's lead at 3-2 after 5.
You can feel it deep inside. You're the one with a real sense of pride, and you're giving it your best. Proud to be your bud, Budweiser. Proud to be your bud. Proud to be your bud. Ooh, yeah. Proud to be your. Proud to be your bud.
This is $20,000. This is also $20,000. You'd take care of this, wouldn't you? You should take care of your car just as carefully. Bring it to Jiffy Lube, the only place with the experience of servicing 68 million cars. Considering that your car is worth thousands of dollars, experience counts.
We got experience at Jiffy Lube.
Seven big games are coming up. First, the Expos. Thursday, May 20th. Friday, May 21st. Instant vacation night, Saturday, May 22nd. And Sunday afternoon, May 23rd, when all kids 14 and under get a free equipment bag. Then it's the Mets. Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, May 24th, 25th, and 26th, all at 7:35. Call 463-1000.
Summertime is here, so time to start thinking about Phillies baseball day camps for boys and girls. 7 to 14 years of age have 12 great locations for you. Plus, to get it during the day right here at the vet. So just call that number, 215-642-8585. Phillies baseball day camps. Phil's have been doing that for a number of years, and they are very, very popular. Dave Hollins, who just put the Phillies ahead with his 5th home run of the year off the foul pole screen. Orlando Merced, the batter, against Ben Rivera. Phillies lead it by 1, 3-2 here in the 6th inning. Merced, Clark, and Prince to face Ben Rivera. Whew. Totals in the game: 3-6-1 Phillies, 2-5-0 Pittsburgh. Ben Rivera and Dave Otto all the way thus far. Fouled away left side. Al and D. Bates, Minnie Capaldi watching the game in Southampton, New Jersey. Al and D's son Steve here at the ballpark wanted to say hi to them. You know, we have a lot of people watching on Prism. They're the on-base leaders in the league. You see Merced doing a good job. Good pitch by Rivera.
He faked it.
Off his foot, they saying. No, that's a strike. He's out at first base.
Oh, that ball, he
faked it. Now Leland's going to come out. I mean, that ball looked like it really jammed him, and Terry Tata didn't see it off his foot, and neither did the first base umpire Wally Bell.
You know, that was the first thing I looked.
Now they're going to look for shoe polish.
I think, you know, my initial thought was that it didn't hit him.
There's no mark on it. Tata's showing it to Jimmy Leland, no mark.
I mean, but how about that acting job? If in fact it was an acting job, he jumped on it right away.
Well, you said it right away that he was faking it. I mean, Rivera made a great pitch on him, right on his thumbs. Let's see what happens.
I don't know. There's some dirt that kicks up there.
I took your word for it.
I'm going by my instincts. Initially I thought he was faking it.
You know, and Terry Tata did not ask Wally Bell, the first base umpire, for help, or the third base umpire, who he really would have helped, Bonaz, because he would have had the best look at it.
No, see, it goes right over his foot there.
Nice going, Gary. Good acting job, but not good enough. It's an out. 3 unassisted. Here's Dave Clark.
Man, that was good all the way around there. Good acting, good umpiring.
Good job in the truck.
Well,
we'll give them credit. They did a good job down there.
See there, he made you say that.
You don't want to spread it all the way around.
I said Larry Rosen down in the truck. He was like, say that we did a good job down there.
Ooh. Bell knocks knocks it down, and he'll have no play. Juan Bell has great range, and he got to that ball that most people don't get to. But it's a base hit, of course, for Dave Clark, who's a one-out base runner.
It almost takes him into left field. This ball is hit like a shot. And you see Bell, boom, it almost takes his glove off.
And he wisely holds on to it.
Yeah, he was ready to fire, wasn't he?
Sed's in that dugout trying to convince everybody that his foot hurts.
No, I don't think so. I think he's willing to give up the charade now that he's out.
Tom Prince, who's walked and scored and fly to center. Fastball inside. Ben Rivera now up to 100 pitches here in the 6th inning. Ben Rivera has not pitched a whole lot this season. He should be pretty strong. We'll see how long he can go tonight. It's pretty hot here. 6'6", 230 pounds, and 24 years of age. You can go an inning longer.
He's working on the amount of days rest he likes, right?
Yeah. He's right on schedule. That's why they sent him to Florida. 0-2 now to Prince with Wainer, another right-handed batter on deck. And now Ben Rivera and Darren Dalton are going to talk it over. I want you to stay tuned for Minding the Minors coming up. After this half inning, Larry Rosen is going to have a visit with Tony Longmire, another guy who came over to the Phillies from the Pittsburgh Pirates. Longmire swinging the bat pretty well at Scranton Wilkes-Barre right now, and they are playing very well for George Culver.
Well, I tell you, Tony Longmire, had a great conversation with him in spring training. Tony Longmire and Danny Jackson, and we just talked about hitting left-handed hitters against left-handed pitchers, and Jackson was willing to share a lot of info with him.
Oh, that's the last thing he wanted to do was hit Prince. Came inside with a fastball and plunked him. So now there are 2 men on with 1 out.
There's a fastball. You see Darren at the last second move in. Rivera trying to get it in there, but any way you look at it, it's ouch off the forearm there. And a lot of pitchers, when they do something like that, they're afraid to come back in. At least they're not effective inside. So, you know, but Ben, I'm sure he'll be right back there, and I'm sure Darren will call for it again.
Wainer tonight has a base hit, and he scored a run.
Listening to your show this afternoon with Jim Fregosi, I know that you guys, he likes when the pitcher's throwing that curveball and it's high in the strike zone like that. He has a tendency to be tired, he thinks.
Yep, that's one thing he always looks for. Fouled out of play.
And Ben has been high in the strike zone with his breaking ball and hanging a couple in there.
Runners at second and first. There is Dave Clark.
See, but when you throw as hard as Rivera does, you can get away with a lot of stuff out there because guys in their mind, they are keying on that fastball.
Fouled away. Well, the point you're making is he said last night with Danny Jackson, he thought his breaking ball was up in the 8th inning, and that's why he took him out. In the on-deck circle is the pitcher, Dave Otto. And there is nobody up in the Pirates bullpen. They had guys up earlier. Otto has a base hit and an RBI tonight.
Maybe have Tekulve warming up in the tunnel.
Struck him out looking. Wainer thought it was outside, and Ben Rivera gets a big strikeout, and here comes Otto.
Well, I mean, he hit a guy the batter before, threw this guy a couple of fastballs inside, and now, you know, you hit the black on the outside corner. How can you do anything with that except go back?
Wainer thought it was outside. He's giving a little yell there to Tato on his way by. And strikeout number 4 for Rivera. Pirates down by a run here in the 6th inning. And a 6-man bullpen, but Jim Leyland is going to stay with his starter Otto. As we mentioned, he did knock in a run tonight.
Ooh.
Hit to right field. Chamberlain broke in. Now he's going way back at the track, at the wall. He can't get it. It bounces away from him. Pirates are going to score 2, and Otto's going to make it to 3rd. Well, that's why he's hitting, I guess. But Chamberlain misjudged that ball. He came way in on it when he hit it.
Yeah, he definitely misplayed it. Number 1, it's the pitcher, and he's playing him a little, probably a little closer than he's comfortable with. And as soon as that ball takes off, he realizes he has to go back. Now, the same thing we saw in left field. You see how he tries to right himself because the ball is tailing away from him because it's off the bat of a left-hander. But he just misplays it. And it's going to be a triple easy. You see how he tries to right himself and then make a jump. Boy. Man, he scuffled after that one.
Well, that's a triple and 2 RBIs for Otto, who has now knocked in 3 runs tonight. And the Pirates have taken the lead at 4-3 here in the 6th inning.
That's not going to be an error, but Chamberlain did have an error earlier in the ball game,
which contributed to an unearned run, and the Phillies are getting Mark Davis up now. So Jim Leyland does not hit for Otto, and Otto rewards him. I mentioned earlier that it said in the media guide that Otto was a really good hitter at the University of Missouri when he played there, and he certainly hasn't had much chance to hit in the major league since he was in the American League for so long. He nailed that thing. I mean, that was to the back of the warning track. And there is Otto on at third base. And Foley, the batter, figured when he struck out Wainer that he might be out of the inning. Not to be.
That was a tough play Chamberlain had, but you have to catch that ball. That ball should have been caught.
Foley with a fly ball hit towards left field. Incaviglia and Dykstra. Incaviglia there. He grabs it, and that'll do it. But the Pirates do damage here in the 6th inning. They pick up 2 runs on 2 hits, no errors, and a man left on base. Pirates lead at 4-3, middle of the 6th. Time now for Minding the Minors. Larry Rosen has a visit with Scranton outfielder Tony Longmire.
He was once labeled can't miss, but now at 24 and after missing an entire season due to severe shin splint and surgery, Tony Longmire is simply trying to bounce back and reestablish his credentials. He hopes he'll be noticed.
I'm just trying to go out there and play hard every day, and I think if I go out there and play hard, that they'll see that I'm still here and I don't have to make any kind of noise verbally or anything. Just let my bat do the talking.
It has been talking this year at Scranton, but during his silent summer of '92, racked with pain and uncertainty, Longmire says he never thought about hanging him up.
I couldn't give up on it, you know. It's something I really love to do, and I just think it was going to take a lot of time, you know, and just a matter of seeing some more doctors, getting some more opinions, because it was something that's not too common. So it's a matter of getting some opinions and getting it done right.
Here's that play that Wes Chamberlain had trouble with. Look at him out there. He turns first the wrong way, and he compounds that mistake. Now watch, he should continue on the way he's facing, but he tries to turn back across his body, and he just can't make the play. Boom. By the time he gets turned around, he's so close to the wall that he has a concern for that. He takes his eye off the ball.
So now that we go to the bottom of the 6th inning, Incaviglia, Bell, and Rivera scheduled to hit. With Mark Davis up, it appears that the Phillies will hit for Ben Rivera. So Dave Otto is still in the ball game, and he's not only in the ball game, he is in the ball game as a pitcher ahead because of his bat tonight. He's knocked in 3 runs for the Pirates out of the 4 they've scored.
Well, after the Phillies went on top, I wondered how they would play with the lead. They're now back to where they like to be, you know, set up some dramatics. There's no sense in cruising to a little 3-2 victory.
Well, all the scoring has come tonight for the Pirates when Otto was at home plate, because he knocked in the 1 run, and then another came around on Chamberlain's error. That came in the 2nd, and then he knocks in the other 2. You just saw them on the triple. So here is Incaviglia 0 for 2 with a couple of ground outs. Bell is on deck, and then we'll see if they hit for Rivera. Incaviglia takes a pitch outside. There's Denny Nagel, the left-hander, Paul Wagner, the right-hander. They were up earlier, at least Wagner was. Incaviglia misses outside.
Chris, one thing you can't afford to, the habit you cannot afford to get into is like saying, well, we lost one and it doesn't matter. You have to take every game seriously. You know, you got to be concerned when you have a lead. If you can't shut them out.
Deep center field, a long run. Van Slyke's ball is off the wall on 1 hop, and Incaviglia posts in the 2nd with a stand-up double. Boy, I think Van Slyke thought he had a chance at that for a second, and it just rocketed over his head.
Well, he is so strong. That ball was hit on the line, a low line drive all the way. And if you have to go back on those, you can forget them. You got to try and cut them off. But he hits that ball, and Van Slyke can play with anybody out there. No chance.
Double number 2 for Pete Incaviglia. Here is Bell. And moving into the on-deck circle for the Phillies is Ricky Jordan. Here's Bell, who's walked twice in the ball game tonight. Otto has walked 3 and struck out 2. Bell will do everything he can to move that runner to third, whether that means bunt or whether they let him hit it to the right side.
Everything but bunt. He can't bunt.
He's bunting. And it's foul. You don't like that, huh?
Nah, I don't like that play. I think you go ahead and you take a shot over there. I mean, you bunt them over. That doesn't mean they're going to have to pitch to Ricky Jordan. I don't like giving up an out in that situation.
Phillies down by a run here in the 6th inning. Strike 1 to Juan Bell as he returns to home plate. Incaviglia on at second. Incaviglia runs very well for a big guy. There is Boa, the third base coach. He's around to bunt again, and they have Jay Bell try to sneak in behind Incaviglia, and Otto steps off. Inside, and strike 2. So now Bell will have to swing away. Bell was up there to bunt then. He just thought the pitch was off the plate.
Well, if he bunts, we know that as soon as Ricky Jordan is announced, he's going to have to face a right-hander. I look at what they have warming up in the bullpen.
Or Jim Fregosi might go to Eisenreich for Jordan.
And then you wasted Jordan this early in the ball game in a very close ball game.
0-2 to Bell. He is around the bunt, and he gets it down. Here comes King. He will just get him at first. That's a sacrifice, Juan Bell. What a good job. The 2 strikes on him.
He handles that bat well. I mean, with 2 strikes, you're forgetting about the line. All you're trying to do is get it down, and he does a good job of getting it down the line.
Here comes Ricky Jordan. You see Bell just out at first base and getting the congratulations from his teammates. Jordan batting at .450 and 3 for 8 as a pinch hitter. Here comes Leland, and he will go to the right-hander.
No question. No question.
So that'll do it for Dave Otto. He will leave the ball game after pitching into the 6th inning. He'll go 5 1/3 innings.
You had a matchup where, you had Bell up there hitting right-handed against a left-hander. Why not try and take advantage of that situation?
And there goes the line on Dave Otto, which of course is incomplete at this point, with Incaviglia still on at third base. And Paul Wagner will come into the game. He leads the Pittsburgh Pirates in appearances. The new pitcher. We have a pitching change here at the vet, and we'll be back right after this.
We need to talk. You see, you and I have something in common.
When Batman returns.
Batman. To destroy Batman, we must first turn him into what he hates the most. Namely, us.
Batman returns.
There's a new feeling sweeping the state, peace of mind. Because now people who couldn't afford health coverage can get special care from Blue Cross and Blue Shield. It's the most affordable coverage available to families and individuals who earn too much for Medicaid but can't afford coverage on their own. If you're uninsured, your peace of mind is just a phone call away. Call 1-800-248 888-5200.
Here's Paul Wagner. Look at the good numbers on this right-hander. He's 25 years of age, 6'1", 185-pounder. Born in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Signed as the Pirates' 13-round selection, June of 1989. Phillies have only seen Wagner in one game in his career, and that was just for 1/3 of an inning. He struck out at least one batter in 11 of his 16 appearances, 23 strikeouts in 18 2/3 innings. He'll pitch from the stretch to Jordan. The numbers on Ricky, there they are, and the Pirates have the infield all the way in. Incaviglia at third. The pitch to Jordan. It gets away from Prince. Here comes Incaviglia. He scores, and we're tied at 4 here in the 6th on a wild pitch.
Oh, well. All the best laid plans. Nothing mattered. He comes in, throws a wild pitch, so it's all academic. This is a sinker. He throws a very hard sinker, and this one he cut short by about a couple of feet. Cavilla's there easy. Here he comes. Watch this ball. He throws a hard sinker. Like I said, he bounces it way in front of the catcher.
Tough play for Prince.
Oh, yeah, he has no prayer.
See Ricky Jordan telling Incaviglia to get down. That's wild pitch number 3 for Wagner. Incaviglia scores a tying run here in the 6th inning. We got another one working here tonight. Ricky hits a pop-up foul to the crowd on the first base side. Tell you what, the noise level here is amazing tonight, and it started early. Fans in this city are so into the Phillies, and the people that are coming out to the ballpark are really excited. There is Incaviglia scoring the tying run after doubling and being sacrificed over. As Gary mentioned earlier, Phillies are doing the little things. 1 ball, 1 strike to Ricky. 2-1.
Yeah, if I'd have known he was going to wild pitch him in, I'd have bunted him over the third, too. Fergosi, he can't do anything wrong.
Deep to center field. Back goes Van Slyke, still going back at the warning track. He grabs it. Oh, Ricky Jordan smoked that ball to the deepest part of the ballpark, and one of the best in the league just ran it down, 2 down.
You said that right. He covers a lot of ground out there, but Ricky Jordan, I mean, for the amount of time he's playing, just is swinging that bat, unbelievable. Gets all of that one. And Van Slyke watches it fall right into his glove.
He didn't have much further to go when he caught it. Lenny Dykstra, the batter, 0 for 3.
You know, Chris, you commented on the numbers that Wagner had. The one thing, though, he pitched 18 2/3 innings and he'd given up 19 hits. That's one thing that would question you and make you think that he has a tendency to pitch behind in the count a lot, because when he has to come fat, the guys can hit that fastball that he throws.
And with the strikeouts he has, if he gets ahead of you, might be in trouble.
Yes.
There is Wagner. Last year pitched at 3 levels: Carolina, Buffalo, and the big leagues.
Boy, I tell you, he's in a good organization with Ray Miller there to fine-tune him. He'll definitely progress, because he does have pretty good stuff.
He got in 6 games for the Pirates last year. One of them as a starter, and was 2-0 with a 0.69 ERA as Miller looks on. 2-1 to Dykstra. All the runs charged to the starter Otto. There's a base hit to right field for Lenny. Phillies now with their 8th hit of the game, and they have a 2-out base runner in Lenny Dykstra for Morandini.
See, one thing Wagner's going to have to learn, and I know that Ray Miller is a big believer in this, and that's a change-up. You have to have something off speed that you can throw these hitters to keep them off stride. If everything is hard, then they're going to time it pretty good.
So Ben Rivera cannot lose this game. He could still win it should the Phillies go ahead.
That's good.
Otto gets a no decision. Morandini takes a fastball over for a strike. Mickey 1 for 3.
Dykstra, you know, this is a good time for him to be down at second base. Hopefully get this run with 2 outs.
Funny, he has stolen 8 bases in 11 attempts if you're thinking about him running, and he has a good lead, 1 foot on the cutout. Doesn't go, and the pitch is another fastball in there for a strike. Boy, he does throw hard.
He throws hard, but now you'll see with 2 strikes, I'm sure that hard sinker that he throws, and I think hitters will have a tendency to chase that as they think a fastball's coming and it goes out of the strike zone.
See Gary Maddox in our next Prism game next week when the Montreal Expos come to town. That should be a good series. 4 games with those Expos. We're back on Prism on the 20th of May with Montreal. We'll also be on the 21st and 22nd. Going to work you that week. 0-2. Dykstra does not go, and the pitch is low, ball 1. 4 runs, 8 hits, an error for the Phils. 4-7-0 for the Pirates in the 6th inning. Seesaw battle.
Ben Revere has been struggling. It'd be nice to see him pull this one out for him. Let him get a victory, get some confidence going. They're going to need him down the stretch.
Dykstra is run back to first.
That was a soft throw over to first base, and yet Dykstra was back hard and a hard dive. So it might be a good move that he has, or Dykstra was thinking about running it instead.
See, he has the 1 foot. Well, not quite on. There it goes on the cutout. He does not go, and Morandini takes a breaking ball over for a strike, and he is called out on strike. So it'll be a no decision for the 2 starters tonight. Thank you to Gary Maddox. Phil's tied in the inning. A run on a hit, no errors on 2 hits, and 1 man left. 4-4.
When you win the Pennsylvania Lottery's Cash 5, you'll get all the cash all at once in one lump sum. And won't that feel good? Cash 5, all the cash all at once. To win the Pennsylvania Lottery's Cash 5 lump sum jackpot, just match 5 of 39 numbers. Any 5 numbers you're attached to. Cash 5, all the cash all at once.
This is your world, genuine and true. You're the one who keeps coming through, 'cause you're giving it your best. Proud to be your bud, Budweiser. Proud to be your bud. Proud to be your bud. Ooh, yeah. Proud to be your. Proud to be your bud.
This is the future. We are waiting. You must choose your fate. Will you choose to join Andrew McCarthy and Jennifer Beals in the battle against the strange virus of Dr. M? Will you take sides for or against gang leader Malcolm McDowell in A Clockwork Orange? Or will you journey to 2008 to aid Rutger Hauer's search for a London killer in split seconds? The future waits for no one. Choose before the end of Prism's next lunar phase, or it may be too late.
Hey, Dad, how about some money for the movies?
Sure, kid. The frosty mug taste of A&W root beer. It really brings back memories.
A quarter?
Get some popcorn, too. A&W, our frosty mug taste brings you back.
Thus far, the Phillies have had a perfect homestand. And it ends tomorrow night with these Pittsburgh Pirates out here at the Vet. Hope we'll see you at 7:30. Just call 215-463-1000. Pick up your tickets that way, or you can stop by one of the local Ticketmaster outlets. There's Mark Davis, done a good job for the Phils in 10 games. You see the numbers on Mark. Lifetime against the Pittsburgh Pirates, he's been in 30 games. He's 1-3 with an earned run average of 3.91. Mark in 2 games against the Bucks last year, and he in 1 1/3 innings, he did not give up anything. So Mark Davis will pitch to Jay Bell, Andy Van Slyke, and Jeff King in a 4-4 game. We're in the 7th. Those starters are gone. Wally Bell says, yes, Jay Bell swung. We have Wally Bell, Jay Bell, and Juan Bell here tonight.
That's a very ringy game.
Yeah. At least we know all those bells are here. Here's a pitch outside.
Been kind of a few ups and downs, topsy-turvy. Wild pitch to let the Phillies score the tying run. Chamberlain kind of missing that ball in the outfield a little bit. A lot of crazy things going on in this game.
How about all the runs produced by the Pirates tonight came when Dave Otto was at home plate. The guy had been in the American League his whole career.
Well, what, he had 1 hit coming into tonight?
Right. Jay Bell with a ground ball to Juan Bell. Throws, got him, 1 away. Bell to Bell.
Davis, primarily known for a good curveball, lost it seems like over the last couple years. After that one year he had 45 saves. Here you see the big break of the curveball. Probably wanted to get it down a little bit lower in the strike zone, but Bell beat that one right in the ground. That's what Mark Davis is known for, big breaking curveball, and when he has it going, very tough to hit, especially to guys like Andy Van Slyke, who hit from the left side.
Van Slyke tonight, you see, 2 for 3 with a triple and a single, and the breaking ball is outside, ball 1. Lifetime against Mark Davis. Andy Van Slyke is 4 for 10 with a homer and 2 runs batted, and that's a cool 400. Breaking ball misses low. We'd like to send happy 47th wedding anniversary wishes to Frank and Marion Smoser from Newark, Delaware. Mark Davis, 6'4", 210 pounds, now 32 years of age. Mark will be 33 on October 19th. Fouled away by Van Slyke, makes his home in Marietta, Georgia. Phillies got him from the Braves for Brad Hassinger on April the 13th. Cy Young Award winner back in 1989 for the San Diego Padres. What a year Mark Davis had, then signed a free agent contract with Kansas City, and then nothing much good happened for him after that. 2 balls and a strike on Van Slyke. Breaking ball misses inside, 3-1.
Ben Rivera pitched a pretty good game, considering the fact that he had a few miscues out there behind him. It should have been outs maybe, and it's nice to see Big Ben getting back untracked after a long time and not pitching. It was all those days off.
Fastball missed inside. Davis thought he had the corner. That's a walk. Walk number 1 issued by Davis. Walk number 3 by Phillies pitching. Rivera, 6 innings, 7 hits, 4 runs, 3 of them earned, 2 walks and 4 strikeouts. Jeff King, the batter, 0 for 3.
I guess if you have to pinpoint it, Chris, it goes right back to the guy sitting in the dugout called Johnny Padres, pitching coach of the Phillies. What a job he's done with the Phillies pitchers over the last couple years, especially this year. The way those starters have come through as this pitch, big breaking ball, is outside. In fact, coming into tonight's contest, Phillies pitchers led the National League in strikeouts, complete games, and saves.
There's Johnny.
Well, very simplified way of doing things, kind of like those books we used to read in school where Dick and Jane had a dog named Spot, and we would say run, Spot, run, and that's about the way Johnny teaches pitching. Makes it very simple, makes it easy to understand.
And he is very, very much into positive reinforcement of his pitchers.
Well, you know what he tries to do with most of them, I think, instead of trying to change them a great deal, he tries to take what they have and enhance it and improve on it, make them better. And of course, then he'll add a changeup to that, which Padres was known for, as this pitch is fouled off. That's one of the big reasons why the pitchers are successful today against batters, is because they're able to change speeds and come up with a good change. Batters have a very tough time picking up a changeup, especially when a pitcher has a good fastball.
1 ball and 2 strikes now on King, with Orlando Merced on deck, who is a better left-handed hitter than right-handed hitter. King waits on the curveball and hits it into right field. Chamberlain, they ran on him because he didn't charge the ball. That was great base running by Van Slyke. Van Slyke saw that Chamberlain was laying back on that ball, and he just kept coming right on around second and got to third, and that's more of a mental mistake on the right fielder than a physical one.
Boy, oh boy, we've seen it a couple times tonight. You're right about Van Slyke, very astute. Rich Donnelly had him coming all the way. Chamberlain took his time and then came up with a very poor throw. Couldn't even hit Bell in the chest as a cutoff man. And the one thing they teach you in the outfield, you've got to hit the cutoff man. That allows him to do something with the ball.
You know, Orlando Merced's up there, and he's going to bat left-handed. There's Van Slyke at third and King at first. Look at this.
Yes. What a switch, huh?
Amazing. I've never seen him do this. He is a switch hitter, but he doesn't hit very well right-handed, so he's going to bat left-handed against Mark Davis. Merced coming into play in the top 10 hitters in the league. Batting just 200 right-handed, and the breaking ball's over. I mean, Davis isn't the easiest left-hander to hit off from the left side either. As Jose De Leon was not pitched much lately, warming up in the Phillies bullpen. Pirates have the potential go-ahead run at third base now with 1 out in the person of Andy Van Slyke with some great base running. Merced swings and misses. Strike 2. So Davis gets ahead of him, 0-2.
Well, you know, they keep telling us that every day or every game you always see something new. And here's a switch hitter that decided not to switch it. Is batting left-handed against the left-hander Mark Davis.
The 0-2 pitch. Fastball, and he gets a base hit. Davis put that ball right in the middle of the plate, and Merced knocks it in left-handed. Scoring on the play is Van Slyke, and the Pirates lead it 5-4 here in the 7th.
That's a mistake pitch, a big one. Like you said, Davis with an 0-2 count on him. He's got to make a better pitch than that. We'll show it to you again. He tried to get the ball, I would guess, inside, right down the middle of the plate. When you got a guy 0-2, you got to make him go fishing a little bit, or at least give him a little chin music.
So Lloyd McClendon will come out right now and bat for Clark. And you see the Pirates ahead in the ball game. Phillies have been trailing in this game most of the night.
The Pirates
had one lead.
But trying to give it back to the Phillies. The Phillies are turning around giving it right back to the Pirates. It's like, I got it, you take it.
Runners at first and second now with one out for McClendon, who started last night. Breaking ball over for a strike. McClendon at 143 and 0 for 6 thus far as a pinch hitter. A walk and 2 singles have given the Pirates a lead at 5-4. Hard ground ball, foul third base side. Boy, things are falling out of. Oh, this kid goes flying out of the stands, loses his popcorn. Now he's going to pick his popcorn up, and he gets the ball.
Not much you can do that popcorn, kid. Take the ball and run.
Now I don't know whether they're going to eject him or not. That's a tough call for the security guards. Got popcorn all over the place. Watch him come jumping out of here. There goes the popcorn. Ball girl gives him the baseball. I think that's Aaron Kelly. It's either Aaron or Ryan Kelly. Oh my.
We'll have to get those down sooner or later. I think by All-Star break we'll have it down.
How about the kid trying to get his popcorn back?
That's amazing, huh?
He wanted the ball and the popcorn.
Moms, leave it alone.
1-2 to McClendon. Yeah, that's like, hey man, you're on the field. Get off there quick. We'll get you more popcorn. There's looks like they're looking for pigeons. There's the young man. They're not going to toss him out. They're just going to tell him not to be running out in the field anymore.
Especially with a big carton of popcorns.
2-2 to McClendon. Fly ball right field. Chamberlain a long run. He won't get there. It bounces into the corner. 1 run scores. Here comes another runner around second. Morandini's throw to the plate, and he is out at home plate. Merced gunned down on a good relay by Mickey Morandini. Over to third goes McClendon. Pirates lead it. They get another run. And it's now a 6-4 ball game.
Chamberlain didn't have much of a chance at this, but he finally does one thing right in there. He comes up throwing and hits Morandini, the cutoff man, right in the chest. Morandini is able to turn around while he's catching the ball and makes a perfect throw to Dalton, who just does barely tag out the runner. Now that's the way you're supposed to play the outfield. You're supposed to hit the cutoff man, and Chamberlain finally gets one out of 3.
Lloyd McClendon gets 1 run batted in on the play. He gets a double, moves to third on the throw, scored 9-4-2, and there are 2 outs for Tom Prince. Pirates with 2 runs in here in the 7th inning. Pitch to Prince is fouled off. Fine throw by Morandini, Jay.
I don't know. Watch the slide by Merced. You might have to say he might get the benefit of the doubt on this one. Awful close there. Unless he tagged him on the arm, he was safe.
Pitch to Prince is down low. 2-1.
He must have tagged him or just grazed him on the arm, because if he tagged him at the waistline, the umpire at the home plate, Terry Tater, probably would have called him safe. So he had to graze his arm a little bit with that glove.
There's a base hit. The Pirates are going to lead it 7-4. Tom Prince with a base hit to right field. And believe it or not, there are actually boos here. Here comes Fregosi. He's going to make a pitching change.
Mark Davis really struggling with that breaking ball, and when he did get it over, he got it over right in the middle of the plate.
So with John Wayner, a right-handed batter, due to come up next, Fregosi goes to the mound. That'll be it for Mark Davis, who will go 2/3 of an inning and roughed up for 3 earned runs. And Jose De Leon will come on. Well, rough outing for Mark Davis as he heads out. We're going to take a break. 7-4 Pittsburgh.
Powered by a 4-valve per-cylinder fuel-injected V8, the Lexus Coupe leaves us with 2 options. We can either build slower cars or run shorter commercials.
Improper disposal of used motor oil is a serious threat to our environment. At Jiffy Lube, we make sure that every drop of oil that comes out of your car is handled safely with concern for our environment.
Because at Jiffy Lube, we know that if you're not part of the solution, you're part of the problem.
We got experience at Jiffy Lube.
Jose De Leon will be the Phillies' new pitcher. You see the numbers on De Leon. He has not pitched a whole lot. 2/3 of an inning on April 30th and just 1 inning on the 5th of May at San Francisco. He has been very, very wild, and Jim Fregosi just hasn't felt confident to use him too much.
Well, you know, also, when your starting pitchers are going to the 7th and 8th innings, then you bring in Mitch Williams, these guys are not getting much of a chance to pitch. So sometimes you got to have a game like this to let your middle relievers and your setup men get in and get some work.
Well, let's talk about a terrific movie called Other People's Money. That will be Thursday night at 8 o'clock right here on Prism, starring Danny DeVito. He offers some helpful tips on making a fortune with other people's money. Gregory Peck co-stars in a timely takeover comedy. Thursday night on Prism, your channel for Mayday's movie madness.
I thought that was a saying from Atlantic City.
Here is Wayner, 1 for 3. That could be Atlantic City, other people's money. Pirates are having a big inning. They have scored 3. They got 2 in the 6th to wipe out a Phillies lead, and they lead at 7-4. Wayner fouls it back. Paul Wagner, who now is the pitcher of record for Pittsburgh, is in the on-deck circle. There is Wagner. Phillies find themselves down by 3. Pirates have out-hit the Phils 11-8. There's Tom Prince on at first base with his first hit of the night. De Leon throws a fastball outside.
Well, I guess being down by 3 runs just sets the stage for another slam. Huh?
We are only in the 7th. Two balls and 2 strikes now to John Wayner.
Jim Fregosi and Johnny Padres want from De Leon is to shut the door. They need to stop the bleeding right now. The Phillies still have 3 more shots at scoring runs.
Outside and low. Good play by Dalton. I mentioned De Leon has been wild this year. 9 2/3 innings, 8 walks, and 3 wild pitches. So he walks Wayner, and it looks as if Wagner will bat. That's the 2nd walk of the inning. First one issued by De Leon as he walks the first batter he faces. And here comes Wagner. Wagner in his career, as you see there, is 1 for 3. This will be his first at bat of 1993. This spot in the order has done major damage tonight. Dave Otto, the starter, knocked in 3 runs with 2 hits. And De Leon misses low. Tom Foley waits on deck. Tom Prince at second base and John Wayner at first with 2 outs. Strike called. There are the base runners. Phillies currently on a 4-game winning streak, and they'll have to come from behind tonight. This one's outside, and it's 2-1.
De Leon really struggling with that fastball. He's trying to throw it on the outside part of the plate, nibble a little bit on the corner, and just can't quite get it. Missing by about 4 or 5 inches.
Wagner fouls it away. He's really pulling off and giving away the outside part of the plate, and that's where De Leon's throwing it.
Actually, that pitch might have even been a ball, a little bit high. So De Leon might have caught a break from Wagner on that one.
2 balls and 2 strikes on Wagner. Pitch to him is hit down the right field line. Here comes Chamberlain. It is out of play. Boy, that ball keeps finding West tonight. You keep hitting him to right field. And West hurt his knee a little bit that time as he slammed into that fence trying to make a play.
You don't have much room down the right field line, Chris. Probably about 30 inches between the white line and where the stands jut out very close to it. So when you're running at full tilt, as we see Chamberlain go towards the line, and just as you look up, you only have maybe a step, maybe a half a step before you hit that fence, so you have to brace yourself pretty quick.
Wagner hits a ground ball. Hollins to his left. Good play to Morandini, and they just get Wainer. Major damage in the inning, though. 3 runs, 4 hits, and the Pirates lead it by 7-4.
When you were a child, you were told we're all created equal. But now that you're a little older, you see things a bit differently. The new Lexus GS Luxury Performance Sedan. It's roomier, quieter, and rides smoother than cars costing thousands more. Maybe we are all created equal, but it doesn't have to stay that way. See your Lexus dealer for treatment that's unequaled.
May I help you, sir?
Yeah, I'll have a Coca-Cola.
You sure you want a Coke?
Yeah, I want a Coke.
Okay, pal.
How did you order a Coke? It tastes good.
Didn't care if it was a Coke. You just want
I'll just have a cola. I'll just have a cola. I'll just have a cola.
Need a drink, sir?
I'll just have a...
You'll just have a...
I'll just have a Coke.
Ooh.
Hear that, guys? A Coca-Cola. See ya, pal. Oh.
There's a new feeling sweeping the state, peace of mind. Because now people who couldn't afford health coverage can get special care from Blue Cross and Blue Shield. It's the most affordable coverage available to families and individuals who earn too much for Medicaid but can't afford coverage on their own. If you're uninsured, your peace of mind is just a phone call away. Call 1-800-248-5200.
Hi, I'm Dick Vermeil with a Blue Cross Blue Shield health tip. Do you know the #1 reason everyone should walk? Walking is the least demanding and probably the most rewarding of all the indoor-outdoor activities you can do after the age of 40. And it may be the only one you can keep doing.
There's some of the crowd waving hi to everybody. We have a new right fielder for you, Lloyd McClendon. McClendon goes in place of Clark. Paul Wagner still on the mound. Pirates lead it as we go to the bottom of the 7th inning, 7-4. Pirates 7 runs on 11 hits. Phillies 4 runs on 8 hits. It'll be Kruk, Hollins, and Dalton on the night. Johnny singled in the first, singled in the third, and flied to left in the 5th. Kruk leading it off. Pirates lead it 7-4. Paul Wagner on the mound. Crowd in anticipation of possibly another Phillies comeback.
And John Kruk, the batter for the Phillies. And it is low ball 1. It'll be Kruk, Hollins, and Dalton to face Wagner. In the 7th inning, Phillies find themselves down by 3. Line drive right at Jay Bell, position perfectly. Kruk's hit a couple balls hard his last 2 times up, nothing to show for it. But Kruk now 2 for 4. He could easily be 4 for 4 tonight.
Very easily. Nice easy swing by John Kruk. See how he keeps those hands high? It's much easier to come down and get the bad head on a ball when you got your hands up around your shoulder area than trying to come up with your hands lower around your waist.
Here is Hollins with a home run tonight. That put the Phillies ahead at one point in the ball game, but then they gave the lead back, and the Pirates have added to it.
Wagner with a fastball, a curve, a slider, and a split finger pitch. Got a little bit of pop to it.
Good fastball, swing and a miss. He does throw hard.
He's around 90 miles an hour. Can get the ball up there. The only problem every now and then he gets a little bit wild and he gets up in a strike zone. And for a reliever, got to keep that ball down in the strike zone.
Hollins beats it foul first base side. $32,871. Big crowd here tonight at the Vet. There's not a lot of walk-ups again here tonight. Been a loud, enthusiastic crowd. We'll see what can happen. Down low. Crowd has really been behind the Phillies in these home games. Phillies have posted a home record of 14-3.
It's not bad.
Way outside.
Sometimes you see Wagner, as we just saw in that pitch there, it looks like he tries to really get on top and overthrow it a little bit. Really wants to get it up there. Consequently, gets up high. Pitching coach Ray Miller's tried to calm him down a little bit, kind of get him into a rhythm where it feels comfortable, keep the ball down in the strike zone.
Way outside as he overthrew that.
And that's his only drawback. But again, you're looking at a very young kid. He's only 25 years old coming into this year as we take a shot at the Pirates pitching coach in 7 years. And Ray's going to go out and talk to him exactly about that. Trying not to overthrow, get back in your rhythm, keep the ball in the strike zone. But Wagner only had 30 days of Major League experience coming into this year.
Selected by Pittsburgh in June of 1989 in the 13th round. Right-hander Paul Wagner. As I mentioned last year, he was at 3 different stops. There's Denny Nagel warming up, left-hander. Pirates have Moeller, Nagel, and Robertson in their bullpen from the left side. They still have Belinda and Glass Minor from the right side. Phillies have used Mark Davis and Jose De Leon, who was in the game at this point for the Phillies. Darren Dalton, the batter, he has struck out, walked, grounded out off the starter Dave Otto. It's to Dalton. This is low, ball 1. On deck is Chamberlain.
Told you so much about how well Johnny Padres is revered as a pitching coach. Ray Miller in 13 seasons as a pitching coach. His teams have either finished first or second 9 times. He's only had a losing record twice. And also his teams have averaged 91 wins a year during that period. So Ray Miller of the Pirates, an extraordinary pitching coach.
Dalton takes it inside. Ball bounces away from Prince, but with the Phillies down by 3, no chances by Hollins. He just stays at first base. It's 3-0 on Dalton. One out here in the 7th inning. Pirates 7, Phillies 4. Dalton takes all the way and he walked in.
He's really trying to overthrow. When you got the count 3-0, you know Dalton's he's taken 2 pitches twice now in this game and yesterday 3-0. So all he had to do was throw it down Broadway and he couldn't even get it close.
So Chamberlain will bat. On deck is in Cavilla. Wes on a tough night tonight, 0 for 3. He does have a run batted in. He's had some shaky plays in the outfield. He'd love to make up for it here with a bat.
Shaky.
Strike called. There's only 1 out. Chamberlain, line drive, left center field. Wainer is there and makes the play. Hit it off the end of the bat just a little bit, and Wainer hard to his left, ran it down. Wainer's been very impressive out there tonight for a guy who's normally a third baseman.
Made all the plays that's necessary. Chamberlain got a good pitch to hit. The only thing is he was so anxious and he wanted to turn on it so bad that he just got a little bit in front of it. As Chris said, hit it off the end of the bat. That's why the ball didn't carry very far.
So here is Incaviglia, 1 for 3 with a double, a dead center, and a run scored. Incaviglia with 3 home runs, 14 runs batted in, represents a tying run at the plate. Hollins on second, Dalton on first. Now there are 2 outs. Incaviglia takes a pitch high and outside, ball 1. On deck is Bell. Fouled back. See Mariano Duncan in the Phillies dugout stretching that left leg. That's the hamstring pull. He's already anticipating possibly being used as a pinch hitter in this ball game. There you see Duncan trying to stretch it out in the far corner of the Phillies dugout. Ooh, a good breaking ball, and he flinched on that one. 1 and 2 to Pete.
We really haven't seen Wagner throw many breaking balls.
That was good. It was, especially as hard as he throws.
Well,
Threw it right at him.
You're looking for that heater, and all of a sudden you get the breaking ball. It freezes you for that mini second, and then it's too late.
1 ball, 2 strikes to Incaviglia. The pitch, breaking ball, he struck him out. So that'll do it for the Phillies here in the 7th inning. No runs, no hits, no errors, and 2 men left on base. Through 7, 7-4 Pirates.
You can feel it deep inside. Dedication and a real sense of pride. And you're giving it your best. Proud to be your bud. Budweiser. Proud to be your bud. Proud to be your bud. Ooh, yeah. Proud to be your bud. Proud to be bud.
Jean-Claude Van Damme always makes an impact. Now, get ready for Van Damme times 2, double impact. Now, it'll take both of them, express service,
That's what I love about you.
to handle one of her.
Please fasten your seatbelt.
Double impact.
What's new at Mobile? Let's take a look.
Introducing new Mobile Super Plus detergent gasoline. It still cleans fuel injectors and intake valves.
Now it helps keep the very heart of your engine cleaner. Down here, the cylinders and pistons.
So come down to the Big Red O and drive your engine clean with new Mobile Super Plus, the detergent gasoline.
Here's a summary on the ballgame. If you're just tuning in, you wonder who Otto is, and you think, well, maybe he's a cleanup hitter for Pittsburgh. No. Dave Otto was a starting pitcher tonight. 2 for 3 with 3 runs batted in. Dave Hollins, his 5th home run of the year. Andy Van Slyke with a couple of early hits in the ballgame. You see the lead has gone back and forth, and now the Pirates lead by 3 as we head to the 8th inning.
He might as well be the cleanup hitter. King having a tough time the last 2 nights, and Otto with 2 hits, 3 RBIs. They may move him in there. Who knows?
Here we go to the top of the order for the Pirates, and Tom Foley leads it off against De Leon, who pitched the 3rd of an inning in the 7th. It'll be Foley, Bell, and Van Slyke. 7-11-0 Pittsburgh, 4-8-1 Phils. Tom Foley's been in Montreal the last few years. De Leon with fastball, breaking ball, and forkball. As we mentioned earlier, he just has not been used much this year. And he's outside with it, 3-0.
You can see he's trying to move the fastball on the outside part of the plate, get Foley maybe to swing at a pitch going out of the strike zone, but Foley not biting, and De Leon, because he hasn't pitched that much, it isn't really sharp on the corners.
And he walks Foley. That is walk number 2 issued by De Leon. Next Phillies telecast here on Prism will be on Thursday, May the 20th at 7:30. We'll have 3 straight games for you. The Phillies and the Expos. A pregame show with Larry Rosen starts at 7 o'clock. And we'll see you at 7:30, Phillies and the Expos.
What are we, Iron Men? 3 straight games?
Well, I told Maddox he's going to have to be here 3 straight games.
I'll kill him.
Bell is around a bunt. Well, you know, you kid around and say managers try to take the grand slam out of play as much as they can. Well, the way the Phillies have been going, looks like Leland's wanting to get 4 ahead here.
After the last 2 days of grand slams, I think that's a good idea. And Bell, probably one of the best bunters in the game. He and Brett Butler of the Dodgers lays down a beautiful bunt. Dalton looked at second. Really didn't have a play, so he gets it over to Morandini at first.
For 1 year, they used to sacrifice a lot with Bell. And now they're going to intentionally walk Van Slyke. That took the bat right out of his hands. They don't do it as much with Bell because their leadoff man doesn't get on that much. And also, he's become such a good hitter. That's sacrifice number 5 now for Bell. Jeff King, who is 1 for 4, will be coming up next. Look at Van Slyke. He's not even thinking that De Leon might throw one near the plate. He's just standing there. Look at him.
He's talking home plate.
There it is.
Terry Taylor.
Okay, that's 4. If he threw one near the plate, he wouldn't have seen it.
He wouldn't have seen it at all.
That's a left-hander, folks, in a right-hander's body.
He would have made my all funny bone team. King, as Chris said, 1 for 4 tonight. Well, he's now in double play depth.
There's a base hit to left field. Being waved around is Foley. Throw is late, and the Pirates lead at 8-4 on an RBI hit by Jeff King. Stopping at second base is Andy Van Slyke.
King not wasting much time coming in tonight as Chris in this at bat. 1 for 4 went after the first pitch from De Leon. As you can see there, a fastball on the outside part of the plate, not much velocity on it, so he was able to turn on it, drive it to left. Cavilla with a nice throw to home, but Foley with pretty good speed had it easily beat.
And that'll bring up Merced. Got a big hit off Mark Davis's last time up when he had the count of 0-2. He was batting left-handed, even though he's a switch hitter, and got a base hit to right. And that broke a 4-4 tie. Pirates have now gone on to make it 8-4.
I'm sure there was some concern on the Pirate bench when they saw Merced batting left-handed against the left-hander Davis. Of course, it's all moot now since he got the base hit.
Mark probably second-guessing himself for the pitch that he threw to him. Threw him a fastball, kind of middle in. Squibbed off the end of the bat to Bell. He'll step on second, fire to first. They got the double play, and that'll end the inning. 6-3 on the double play. The Pirates pick up another run here in the 8th inning. 1 run on just 1 hit, no errors, and 1 left to the bottom of the 8th. 8-4 Pittsburgh.
When you move into a new house, little things are going to come up. Unexpected things. Things the previous owner forgot to mention. So to make your new house a home, turn to the book with more choices. It can even help if you want to get out of the house for a while. But you'll learn Bella, Pennsylvania Yellow Pages. 9 out of 10 use it. No other book can match it. A Bella Renting Company.
Only one dealer can offer you 5 of the 10 best sellers in America. Your Quality Plus Ford dealer. Now, Ford Taurus is the #1 selling car in America. A leader in safety with available dual airbags and anti-lock brakes. Ford Taurus has been on Car and Driver's top 10 list 7 years straight. Now, for a limited time, save $1,200, including $500 cash back from Ford on all Taurus sedans and wagons. Hurry, save on 5 of the top 10 sellers in America. Only at your Quality Plus Ford dealer.
You probably know Danny Glover best as Mel Gibson's partner in Lethal Weapon 1, 2, and 3. But did you know he co-starred with the Crying Game's Forrest Whitaker in the acclaimed comedy A Rage in Harlem? Did you know he starred in and helped produce the drama To Sleep with Anger? Did you see him with Kevin Kline and Oscar nominee Mary McDonnell in Grand Canyon? And did you realize that these 4 movies, Lethal Weapon 3, A Rage in Harlem, To Sleep with Anger, and Grand Canyon, are on Prism this month? Danny Glover's best work shines during May Days on Prism. Check it out.
For the official 1993 Phillies gift and souvenir catalog, compliments of Kellogg's now available. The catalog features all your favorite Phillies items, including jackets, jerseys, t-shirts, caps, and much, much more. Plus, see a special offer in the catalog from Kellogg's for Darren Dalton and Dave Hollins photo balls. You can get a catalog free. Just call the Phils at 463-1000. Ask for a Phillies souvenir and gift catalog. New pitcher for the Pittsburgh Pirates, Jay.
Denny Nagel, 24 years old, 6'2", 215. A year and 72 days as he started this year with the Pirates. Last year in Pittsburgh, he was 4-6 with a 4.4 ERA in 4 games. In 86 innings, he struck out 77. Got a fastball, curve, slider, and a change. Not overpowering, kind of deceptive, but he relies heavily on changing speeds to get the hitters off balance, hit the ball on the ground.
So there is Denny Nagel. Came over in the John Smiley deal from Minnesota. Juan Bell will lead it off for the Phillies. And the pitch is over for a strike. Bell, a pinch hitter for De Leon. That will be Jim Eisenreich. And then Lenny Dykstra. There's a base hit. Bell was booed as he came to home plate and responds with a base hit to left field. Bell is 1 for 1 tonight with 2 walks and a sacrifice. And here comes Eisenreich to bat for De Leon.
We'll show you the pitch again. The pitch is a breaking ball up in the strike zone. He tried to get it in. Bell didn't hit it very good, but the ball was up. You know that old saying, when relievers get the pitches up, they're asking to be hit.
And Jim Eisenreich at 361. Pitch is over for a strike call. Eisenreich, as a pinch hitter this year, is 0 for 5. Swing and a miss. Bob Awalt now up in the Phillies bullpen. Nagel outside with a pitch. Here's the Phillies base runner, and Juan Bell with a 4-run lead for the Pirates. They are playing off him. Swinging a foul tip in and out of the glove of Prince. You see Eisenreich pulling off a little bit against a left-hander. By the way, Denny Nagel has a 0 earned run average in 6 games on the road in 8 1/3 innings and a 10.80 ERA in 6 home games. He's on the road tonight.
Don't look for him to pitch too much at home then.
Outside, Denny Nagel hit a monster home run in an exhibition game against the Phillies in Bradenton.
Really?
Kenny Howe. The one game that Kenny Howe pitched in spring training before the Phillies decided that he probably wasn't going to be able to help him. Eisenreich got a pitch a middle in then. At fastball, jumped on it, fouled it back. Jim Eisenreich really done a good job for the Phillies this year in a utility role, coming in for defense as a pinch hitter and double changes.
Well, he knows his role and he's accepted it, and he's done a very good job, like you said.
2-2 to him. The pitch. Fouled it off. Third base side. It'll go out of play. They've been pitching him away, and now come back inside a little bit.
He's doing a good job of fouling it off for Gossi.
Here's Belinda. Stan Belinda, who is...
Big Stan.
Well, you know, Leland has a bullpen by committee, but I think this is the guy that someday he wishes would just take it by the throat and be his closer.
Well, they'd like him to do that if he gets his control down.
Outside it. This one bounces away, but Bell doesn't go. And of course he doesn't go because you're down by 4 runs.
The 1 run here isn't going to make much of a difference.
No, that's all he'd have to do is get thrown out on that play.
Eisenreich has done a good job against Nagel to get the count to 3-2. He's fouled off a couple of tough pitches and laid off another one.
Eisenreich fouls another one away.
Eisenreich, manager Jim Fregosi, showing a lot of confidence in him. Eisenreich hitting .545 with 6 RBIs in his last 14 games. So, a pretty hot bat. He's up against the left-hander, a tough one with a lot of change of speeds here.
And the pitch to him. Swinging a towering pop-up down the right field line. Merced has a play in foul territory, and he grabs it one away.
That's one of those pitches, Chris, who has a left-hand batter pinch hitting. You just miss it. You want it back. You scream at it. Oh, give me that one more time. The pitch, you see the location. Fastball down and in, a left-hander's delight. And Eisenreich just pulled off a little bit and skied it.
That ball was in the air a long time. Dykstra, the batter, fouls it off. Dykstra tonight, 1 for 4. Swing and a miss at a good breaking ball. It's 0-2.
You see the breaking ball that Nagel has. It's got a very big break, almost like a slurve. As we said earlier, he's very deceptive. He doesn't have much of a fastball, so he'll try and set that fastball up by changing speeds with his curveball and a straight change.
And he misses away. On deck is Morandini. Pitching in and out, though, doing a good job of using both parts of the plate. This is inside the Lenny, 2-2. 8-12-0 Pittsburgh, 4-9-1 Phillies. One out here in the 8th inning. Juan Bell on at first base for the Phils. They're playing awful. Outside, Prince is having trouble holding some of these pitches. And it's full for Dykstra. I think we're going to see anybody run in this situation. Down by 4 runs. You worry about a strikeout double play here more than a ground ball double play. We'll see how they work it. 3-2. He does not go, and Dykstra hits it to deep right field. Fair or foul? It is a foul ball. Way out of here and just foul down the line, and Dykstra will have to come back. Actually, he never left. Look at him looking at it like, oh man, was that close.
Watch where this pitch is. Nagel tries to go inside with the breaking ball, catch the inside part of the plate, have it come back after keeping the ball in and out on Dykstra. Dykstra just a little bit out in front of that one.
Oh, here we go again. 3-2 to Lenny, who just missed a homer. Popped it up. Who wants it? Right fielder McClendon. Foley, the second baseman. Here comes McClendon. He runs him off, 2 down. This Nagel throws some high pop-ups, doesn't he?
Yes, he does.
And Dykstra just misses a 2-run home run. Pops up to the right fielder McClendon. Here's Morandini, 1 for 4 with a first inning double and a run scored.
Morandini using a no knob ended bat and a big barreled bat, trying to hit the ball on the ground. Look at that one.
It just tipped off the end of that bat again. He's done that a few times.
Like he was really slow on that one and misjudged it or something. Started to swing, held up, and the ball hit the bat.
Well, he's got all that handle you're talking about.
Ball inside, and it hit the knob part of the bat, the knob handle. I don't believe that.
Yeah, that happened to him the other night here. There's a ground ball to short. Bell looks to second. Foley is there, and the Phillies are gone in the 8th. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, and 1 man left on base. We are through 8, and the Buccos lead at 8-4.
What kind of paint would you use inside your own house if price were no object?
Well, it isn't anymore, because Sherwin-Williams is rolling back prices during their price rollback sale. Right now, you can pick up a gallon of Style Perfect Interior Flat Latex for just $8.99. That's a great paint for a great price, folks. So you got a choice. You can spend less at Sherwin-Williams or settle for less somewhere else. Sherwin-Williams price rollback sale ends May 22nd. So, get rolling.
For the first time ever, the expansion Florida Marlins come to the Fed Thursday, June 17th and Friday, June 18th. Then the Upper Deck Heroes play Saturday, June 19th before the Marlins game. And it's a free vintage 1933 baseball cap for all men, Sunday, June 20th at 1:35. Order your tickets in advance. Call 463-1000.
The new Lexus GS Luxury Performance Sedan. It not only corners better than the BMW 535i, but it rides smoother. Of course, if you still insist on feeling every pebble in the road, Be our guest. See the GS at your Lexus dealer. The price is within reach, too.
Let's take a look at the National League scoreboard. First, Cubs winning 2 today at home, beating the Dodgers 2-1. Cincinnati 4 and San Diego 2 at Cincinnati. Milton Hill a winner, a save for Greg Cadaret. They're in the 8th at Montreal. The Expos over Florida 6-4. Atlanta leads Houston 5-4 in the 8th at the Dome. St. Louis over the Mets 6-2. Bobby Bonilla hit a home run, number 6 at game at St. Louis. Giants 3, Colorado 1 at Mile High Stadium. In the American League, Boston 4, Baltimore nothing. That game's in the 7th. Kansas City a final over Cleveland. They win 7-6. Final, New York beats Milwaukee 5-1 at the stadium. Detroit 12, Toronto 7. They're in the 8th. Oakland at Texas. They're just getting underway, or Texas at Oakland just getting underway. Minnesota, California, and Chicago at Seattle. They will be starting shortly out on the West Coast. New pitcher for the Phillies, the right-hander Bob Arald. Last time he pitched was on the 5th of May, the last time the Phillies lost the game, that 11-2 loss at San Francisco. He went 2/3 of an inning, 5 hits, 5 earned runs, 1 walk, and no strikeout. There are the overall numbers on right-hander Bob Arald.
It's Phillies Dream Week time again. Your chance to learn, laugh, play, and have a great time with the pros in February in Clearwater, Florida. Spring training of the Phillies. Just imagine being now Lazinski and Taylor and Tekulve and Bo and all those crazy guys, and Wheeler, for 1 full week. You keep hearing about it, so why don't you make this the year? Call for more information at 215-938-1200. It's a great place. You train down in Clearwater. You live on the beach. What a week. Don't miss out, folks. You get a chance. You got the time. Come on down. Join us.
Come on down, wear that big league uniform. And don't lie about your size.
Yeah, and do some running before you get there.
Here's Lloyd McClendon. McClendon came in as a pinch hitter and knocked in a run with a double in the 7th inning. Stayed in the game in right field. McClendon, Prince Wainer, 3 right-handed batters to face Bob Arald in the 9th. Phillies down by 4. Grand slam tonight will just tie it.
Oh, perfect.
Swinging and a miss at a breaking ball by McClendon, batting at 167. McClendon had a couple hits last night. He started the game against left-hander Danny Jackson. Tommy Green and Randy Tomlin here tomorrow night in the final game of this 3-game series and the homestand. Strike called. He is out of there. Arald comes in and strikes out the first batter he faces. McClendon does not agree.
Arald, good hard heater, but watch this pitch right there, right on the black. Of course, the black is the ball, but we're not going to tell that to Terry Tata.
Stan Belinda continuing to throw in the bullpen for Pittsburgh. It appears he will pitch the 9th inning. Tom Prince, the batter. A fastball comes inside. Prince tonight is 1 for 2 with an RBI hit in the 7th. He's also been hit by a pitch and walked and scored a couple runs. Don Slaught, a little bit of a sore ankle. Prince playing tonight, and he fouls it straight back into the screen.
Well, Chris, going by my multicolored score sheet here, you know, things usually happen 3s, and since next inning will be the bottom of the 9th inning, and we lead off with Kruk and then Hollins, Dalton, and Chamberlain, we could maybe have a grand slam by Incaviglia, as this is a swing and a miss. You know, I mean, it happens in 3s and does it things in the 3rd inning, 3, 6, 9. It's possible, you know.
This team's had a lot of miracles. They're going to need another one tonight. Swing and a miss. Arald comes in throwing hard and strikes out 2 batters in a row. 2 away.
Well, with Merced, he showed a good fastball, but watch right here. Outstanding breaking ball. Prince way out in front of this one. Ball breaking out of the strike zone and off the table.
And here is John Wainer, who's played very well in left field tonight. 1 for 3 in the game. He was not scheduled to play tonight, but Al Martin was scratched with a sore back. And there is Lonnie Smith on deck to bat for Nagel, as Belinda will be coming into the game. Swing and a miss. Arald has not pitched since last Wednesday at San Francisco. And he's come in throwing hard tonight. 1 ball and 1 strike. Pop-up foul out of play to the crowd behind home plate. 32,000 plus here tonight. 32,871. Last night it was a crowd of 29-7-12. There you see some of the people still remaining. A lot of people have left as the Phillies are down by 4 here in the ninth. He hung that breaking ball, and Wainer made him pay for it. A slider right up in his eyes, and a base hit, so Lonnie Smith will get the bat.
For making some fine pitches, Wainer got this pitch right up at the belt. Hanging breaking ball, hitter's delight. Lonnie Smith now steps to the plate. Smith at 269, huh?
Here comes Lonnie. Fans still love him here in Philadelphia.
You know, what a record he's got. What is it? He's been to the World Series with 4 different teams. 5 times on 4 different teams. Look at that. And of those 5 times he's been in the World Series, twice, of course, were with Atlanta.
Philadelphia, St. Louis, and Kansas City, the other teams. Lonnie this year 1 for 7 as a pinch hitter, and he swings through a fastball. Number 1 pick of the Phillies back in the 70s. When he played at Oklahoma City, they used to call him Lightning Lonnie down there. Boy, Lonnie could really run at one time. He could still run pretty well, but one time Lonnie Smith could run with anybody. 2 balls and 1 strike to Smith. Pirates with a 1-out, 2-out base runner here in the ninth, and they lead it 8-4. Fouled away. This will slam off the press box and back into the crowd.
Well, Lonnie doesn't get cheated. He gets his rips in.
Game coming up on 3 hours now.
Back in 1982, runner-up to the MVP award to Dale Murphy. And in 1989, received the National League Comeback Player of the Year award. Over 10 years in the bigs. Lonnie Smith, 37 years old.
Those people hung around to the end, and they're rewarded with a foul ball.
Now, how are you going to divide that ball?
3-2. So the runner Wainer will be off at first base with a pitch with 2 outs. Kruk backing off him. Tom Foley, he's the leadoff man, waits on deck. And Lonnie bangs another one off the press box and back into the seats. Lonnie Smith stands right up in the front of the box, right on the plate, and wants that ball inside because he likes to work it to the other opposite field. Where he stands, he is fearless. 3-2 to Smith. There he does it. Ball inside, and he works at the right field. Chamberlain is there and waits, and he grabs it, and that'll do it. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, and 1 left. And any miracles left, we'll see. Stay with us. Bottom of the ninth is coming up.
Did you know Texaco puts System 3 in every grade of gasoline?
System 3 gets high marks in every grade, which is a lot better than I ever did.
My dad says Texaco puts System 3 in every grade. I'm in the 4th grade.
Of course. That's why I always fill up with System 3. What do I look like? Don't say it.
Visit your Texaco station.
I can get the tires rotated, the car lubed, and still get home in time for the game.
Mow the lawn.
For unbeatable System 3 gasolines and so much more.
Mow the lawn.
Mow the lawn.
She's an assistant bank manager, a real go-getter. But tonight, she's Sally Camp, pizza delivery girl. You see, Sally thinks she has to drive to get great pizza. It's like she's working for the local pizzeria. Come on, Sally. Wake up and smell the mozzarella. Call Pizza Hut Delivery for delicious piping hot pizza. And right now, get a large Neapolitan pizza for $6.99 or 2 for $10.99. Hey, Sal, get off the road and phone it in. Why pick up? Pizza Hut delivers.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands.
Before our children can carry on some of our most fundamental values,
they must first understand them. And we can't think of a better reason to support education. Mellon PSFS.
Sunday afternoon, May 23rd at 1:35, the Phillies battle the Expos. And children 14 and under get a really great-looking equipment bag free. Compliments of Super Pretzel. Now, there's a twist. To order tickets, call 463-1000.
Let's take a look at the National League save leaders, and that leader in that category resides right here in Philadelphia. Mitch Williams with 13, the Braves' Mike Stanton 11. Brian Harvey, one of the reasons why the Florida Marlins have been competitive. He has 10 saves, and Lee Arthur Smith was trying to pick up number 11 here on Sunday, and you all know what happened. Here's Stan Belinda. He has 6 saves on the year. There are the numbers on him. Belinda's biggest problem so far in his major league career has been his penchant to throw the home run ball at the wrong time. He's a hard thrower, fastball, slider, comes right after hitters.
Yes, he does. In fact, he's not allowed to run his last 5 outings, which has been 6 2/3 innings. Ranks 4th on the all-time Pirate save list with 48. And opponents coming into tonight are batting 160 against him. And of course, as Chris said, the 3 runs that he's allowed have all come off, have been home runs.
Belinda one time was an amateur boxer. He's a graduate of State College area high school.
And last year had 18 saves for Pittsburgh in 92, 16 in 91. Pirates really want him to lock down the doors and hatches and become their official closer, but he's only got 2.5 years in the big league, so they're working him in very slow as Kruk takes this one inside.
Kruk, Hollins, Dalton for the Phillies here in the 9th inning. They trail by 4. Kruk fouls it straight back. Kruk tonight is 2 for 4 with a run batted in. Gave the Phillies a 1-0 lead in the first inning on an RBI hit, knocking in Morandini. He mentioned his last time up, he could be 4 for 4 easily tonight. He's been hit 2 balls hard his last 2 times up. Once to left, once to short. Kruk batting at .314, came into the game at .313. Fouled out of play left side.
I think Belinda will be forever immortalized, Chris, in the 7th game of the National League Championship Series on that pitch he threw Cabrera, where he got a base hit to left, and Sid Bream labored around from second base, and on a desperate lunging slide at home plate, he was just safe.
Unbelievable finish that was. It looked like he might have had Cabrera struck out too in that at bat. Didn't get it. What a finish. What a horrible loss for Pittsburgh. Kruk check swing foul.
But both general manager Ted Simmons and manager Jim Leland have told a lot of people that they are pitching by committee in the Pirate bullpen, but realistically, this is the man they want to be able to go to, and eventually working him into a guy where it becomes like Dennis Eckersley and just closes the 9th out.
Well, there's a base hit, and Kruk's 3 for 5. By the way, we learned that Glass Minor, who we mentioned earlier, is not with the ball club tonight. He had to return home to be with his wife. He's having some problems, so he is not here. So the Pirates are out of right-handers. They still have Moeller and Robertson, the left-handers, just in case. And here comes Hollins. Hollins is 2 for 3 tonight with his 5th home run of the year. He's also walked. Dalton waits on deck, and then Chamberlain. Inside, ball 1. Phillies have a left-handed hitter on the bench in Milt Thompson. They have Kim Baptiste, Doug Lindsay, and Mariano Duncan from the right side, as the Pirates will play off Kruk with a 4-run lead. Merced off his glove, throws to first, safe. Phillies have 2 on and nobody out, and this crowd is on their feet again.
Well, I gave you the scenario last inning, you know, and a good portion of this crowd as we see Hollins hit this ball sharply. Nice play by Merced, but you see it come out of his glove. He then tries to throw a quick sidearm toss to Belinda, but Hollins very alertly a diving slide into first, and his hand just does reach first base before Belinda can tag it.
And that's a base you're allowed to overslide.
Yes, it is. And the crowd erupts again with Dalton coming to the plate. Philly fans, I guess, expect another miracle.
Why not? Dalton takes slow ball. Well, what they've been watching for 30 games, why shouldn't they?
You know, if this were Los Angeles, about a third of these people would be left. The rest of them be on the freeway going back to wherever they live, screaming to another guy out of the way. Well, these are some baseball fans here.
Fouled straight back. There are a lot of people in their cars listening to the radio going, oh, no, honey, it can't happen again, can it?
Wait a minute, we got to go back. Don't have that baby now. Hold on. Hold on. The Phillies are rallying.
1 ball, 1 strike on Dutch Dalton. Dalton tonight 0 for 2 with 2 walks. Chamberlain due to bat next, and then Cavilla. Dalton with a ground ball to second. Foley will take the sure out at first, and Dalton's retired, and both runners move up. But the Pirates get an out, and that's what they really needed. And Chamberlain will bat 0 for 4 with an RBI.
Dalton looked like he really tried to jack this pitch. The pitch is a breaking ball down, and Dalton just topped it a little bit. Easy play by Foley. He had thoughts of going to second, but Hollins hustling down there with a head first slide decided to get the easy and sure out at first base. Good idea, because those other 2 runs don't make a difference with a 4-run lead.
Dalton now 0 for 7 lifetime off Belinda. Chamberlain 0 for 4 lifetime off this tough right-hander. Pirates have the luxury now to play everybody back with a 4-run lead, and that's what they're doing with their infield. Kruk at third and Hollins at second. There's now 1 out. He fouls it away right side, does Wes. And the count 1-1 on Chamberlain.
Pirates shade Chamberlain a little bit to left field. Center fielder Andy Van Slyke about 5 or 6 steps towards the left center field fence. Pirate infield back and deep.
And Belinda steps off. Chamberlain stays in the batter's box. Chases a slider, 1-2.
Chamberlain too anxious on this one, looking for something he can pull. You can see it kind of opens up a little bit way out in front of that slider and can't hold up.
Stan Belinda trying to close it out for the Pirates. He cannot pick up a save in this game. Chamberlain pops it up, playable in the infield. That was another breaking ball, hit it off the end of the bat, and Bell picks it off, and there are now 2 outs. So now it's up to Incaviglia as Chamberlain hears the boos rain down on him on a tough night. Incaviglia 1 for 3 lifetime off Belinda. Milt Thompson in the on-deck circle. If Incaviglia can keep it alive. There's Milt. Pete tonight is 1 for 4 with a double and a run scored. There are now 2 outs. Bobby Wine and Dick Gerner think it's over. Mets scout, Braves scout, they're heading out of here up the runway. Bobby Wine plotting the Phillies' weekend demise for the Braves. What he thinks will be. 2 balls and no strikes now on Pete Incaviglia. Tying run is in the on-deck circle in Milt Thompson. There's a little looper to right. McClendon's right there. He'll grab it, and the Phillies will lose tonight. Their 4-game winning streak goes bye to bye as the Pittsburgh Pirates come in and get an 8-4 win over the Phils, and their manager Jim Leyland heads out. 3 hours and 8 minutes in this one. There are the final totals in the game, and we'll be back with a wrap-up right after this.
In rich with traditions, Sherwin-Williams has created one of its own by preserving and protecting the national shrines of our national pastime. This is the paint of the pros, and it's the choice of millions of fans at home. And while your town may not have a big league ballpark in it, it does have a big league paint store. The pros know. Ask Sherwin-Williams.
When Bob borrowed a lawnmower, all he got was short.
The Phillies loses, and Dave Hollins, the only home run of the game, one time put the Phillies ahead for Hollins, his 5th of the year. And Andy Van Slyke, Jay, is always prominent, it seems like, in any Pirate win. Here he is tripling early in the game.
Well, coming into tonight, he was hitting .700 off Ben Rivera, promptly got 2 hits in a row. There you see a triple to the gap, Chamberlain giving chase. When you got a guy that's hot like that, it's kind of tough, but you got to give this guy credit. Watch the pitch right here on Jordan. Jordan really hits this ball well. I don't know what kept this ball in the ballpark. When it left the bat, it looked like it was going to be in the center field bleachers. With Van Slyke going back, knows where the wall is like a good outfielder. As he gets there, he jumps and then uses his back to crash in the wall to kind of save himself a little bit. And he's our Texaco star of the game, Andy Van Slyke.
And so the Phillies are now 23-8. 14-4 at home as they lose here tonight to the Pittsburgh Pirates, and they also lose a 4-game winning streak. Tomorrow night they go with Tommy Green against Randy Tomlin, try and get it going again. This was one of those games that you could see it kind of got out of hand there at the end. They're going to lose this.
Struggled a little bit, but he did pitch a good game. Mark Davis came in when the Phillies held it, gave up about 3 runs. It was a tough night for him. De Leon followed, struggled a little bit. A-Rolt, the same thing. But by and large, Phillies played a pretty good game, but the Pirates were due to unload on some hitting. They have not hit very well lately, and of course tonight they get all those runs and all those hits. So if you can take 2 out of 3 games from anybody in every series, you're doing a great job. And so far the Phillies have been pretty good at that. Only once missing, and that was in Chicago.
And they have a chance to win the series by winning here tomorrow night. There's your final. We'll be back with a final word coming up right after this.
Phillies Baseball on Prism has been brought to you by Budweiser. Fresh, pure, natural.